নমস্কার। কলাকারের মেহফিলে সবাইকে সাদর আমন্ত্রণ। আজ দিনটাই এমন, খুব ইচ্ছে করছে প্রোগ্রামের শুরুটা বাংলায় করি। গুরু শিষ্য পরম্পরা নিয়ে আমার অনুষ্ঠান, আর বাঙালিদের কাছে গুরুদেব বলতে তো একজনের কথাই মনে পড়ে। তার প্রয়াণ দিবসে একটু না হয় বাংলায় আমরা কথা বলি, তারপরে অন্য ভাষায় আসবো। আর যাই বলুন, মনের ভাব প্রকাশ করতে বাংলা ছাড়া আর কোনো কিছুতে আমি অন্তত খুব একটা স্বচ্ছন্দ বোধ করি না। আজ আমার সঙ্গে রয়েছেন দুজন এমন মানুষ যারা তাদের অনেক ছোট্টবেলা থেকে আমার গুরুজি আর গুরুমার সান্নিধ্য পেয়েছেন। আমি তাদের চিনেছি অনেক পরে, কিন্তু তাদের কাছ থেকে তাদের ছোটবেলায় তারা গুরুজি গুরুমাকে যেমন দেখেছেন, সেই কথাগুলো শুনতে না পেলে গুরুজির শতবর্ষ উদযাপন তো কোনো মতেই সম্পূর্ণ হওয়ার কথা নয়। সঙ্গে রয়েছেন দিল্লি থেকে আমার গুরুজি এবং গুরুমার স্নেহধন্যা, ওনাদের অনেক দিনের সঙ্গী ছাত্রী পদ্মশ্রী শ্রীমতী সুমিত্রা গুহ। সুমিত্রা মাসিকে আমি যখন দেখেছি তখন আমি গুরুজির বাড়িতে থাকি, আর ভীষণ ভালো লাগতো যে সুমিত্রা মাসি গান শিখতে যখন আসতেন, খুব লম্বা চুল, ভীষণ সুন্দরী এক মহিলা, আর তেমনি অপরূপ গলার আওয়াজ। অপেক্ষায় থাকতাম কখন সুমিত্রা মাসি আসবেন, কখন ওনার কাছে নানা রকমের গল্প শুনবো আর গান শুনবো। বহু বছর পরে আজ আমি লন্ডনে, সুমিত্রা মাসি দিল্লিতে। আমরা দুজনেই গুরুজির কাছ থেকে অনেক আশীর্বাদ, অনেক ভালোবাসা পেয়ে বড় হয়েছি। আমরা দুই গুরু বোন আজ গুরুজিকে নিয়ে কথা বলবো, আর সেই সঙ্গে সুমিত্রা মাসির অপরূপ সুন্দর গলার গান তো আপনারা সবাই শুনবেন। কথা বলা যাক মাসির সঙ্গে। মাসি, আমার প্রণাম নাও। সঙ্গে রয়েছেন কলাকারে যারা সব সময় আমার পাশে থেকেছেন, कमलवीर सिंह जी।
नमस्कार। नमस्ते।
नमस्ते कमलवीर जी।
नमस्ते।
আর সঙ্গে রয়েছেন ডক্টর ইমতিয়াজ আহমেদ, কলাকারের প্রজেক্ট ডিরেক্টর। আর আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমাদের সঙ্গে অলরেডি জয়েন করে গেছেন আমাদের দর্শকরা। হিন্দল, খুব ভালো লাগছে তুমি রয়েছো আজকে। দেবিন্দর জি, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফর জয়নিং। দোদুল, শ্রুতি শ্রীবাস্তব, রুমা গাঙ্গুলি, আরো অনেকেই রয়েছেন আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি। আমার মনে হয় মাসি, আমি জানি তুমি শান্তিনিকেতনে বড় হয়েছো, আর যে সৌভাগ্য আমার হয়নি এবং অনেকেরই হয়নি, তুমি সবার প্রিয় মোহরদির কাছে গান শিখেছো, রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত। আমি জানি বাংলা তোমার ভাষা নয়, এবং সেই জন্য আরোই বেশি করে আমরা শুনতে চাইবো তোমার কাছে। তুমি বলো কবিগুরুর কি গান তুমি আমাদের আজকে শোনাবে। আমি একদম লাস্ট মোমেন্টে তোমাকে বলেছি, আমি জানি, তবু তুমি বলো কি শোনাবে।
প্রথমে গুরুজিকে শতকোটি প্রণাম জানাই, আমাদের শ্রদ্ধেয় গুরুজিকে। আর তুমি এত ভালো কাজ করছো, অনেক 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 আশীর্বাদ তোমার জানাই, ভালোবাসা জানাই। আর তোমার সাথে যিনারা আছেন, মিস্টার কমলজি আর ইমতিয়াজ ভাই, এনাদের আমার শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। শান্তিনিকেতনে আমি যখন ছিলাম তখন এটা আমার সৌভাগ্য ছিল, মোহদ্দি এবং শান্তিদা ডেকে দু একটা গান আমাকে শিখিয়েছে। এখন সেই শাস্ত্রীয় সঙ্গীত আর ভক্তি সঙ্গীতে পড়ে গেছে, তারপরে সেই চর্চাটা হয়নি। কিন্তু তুমি যখন বলছো তখন আমি দুটো লাইন শোনাবো।
হ্যাঁ মাসি, শোনা।
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে, তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে, তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনি কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। বাস এইটুকুই থাক, কারণ এই গানটা আমার খুব ভালো লাগে আর আমার জীবনের এটাও আমি মেনে চলেছি। এই যে গুরুদেব যে মেসেজ দিয়েছেন গানের মাধ্যমে, সবাইকে ডাকো, সবাই সাহায্য চাও, যদি কেউ না আসলে একলা চলো,
একলা চলো,
এটাই
সত্যি।
এই মেসেজটা আমি
হুম।
সবসময় মনে রাখি। আর বাস ঠাকুরের আশীর্বাদ দরকার, আর নিজের পজিটিভিটি নিয়ে সবসময় একাই চলেছি।
থ্যাংক ইউ মাসি, তুমি এত বছর ধরে গুরুজিদের কাছে শিখেছো, তবে তোমার জার্নিটা it's very fascinating. When I spoke to you last time, I know that you started with Carnatic music. And then you have heard Guruji performing somewhere, and then you were drawn towards the Hindustani music. I think that journey is very fascinating, which we would like to know. But before that, before we start talking to you, Mashi, I would like to just say a few things here because I see some of my very old friends are joining us today. Samia, আমার ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে। আমি জানি না কত বছর পরে আমি তোমাকে দেখছি, যদিও মনের মধ্যে সবসময় তুমি থাকো, তুমিও সেটা জানো। মাসি সামিয়া বলছে, প্রণাম দিদি, সো নাইস টু সি ইউ চন্দ্রা, কংগ্রাচুলেশনস অন ইউর ওয়ান্ডারফুল ইনিশিয়েটিভ। পৃথ্বী অধিকারী, প্রণাম গুরুমা। কালীনাথ মিশ্রা, অরিয়াঙ্কা গুপ্তা মন্ডল, ভাম বাপু, অনিরুদ্ধ ভট্টাচার্য, আমাদের আর এক গুরু ভাই। মাসি তুমি অর্পুপানকে চেনো। আর রয়েছেন হিতার্থ চ্যাটার্জি, রুমা পাল, রুবি চ্যাটার্জি, তনুলা চক্রবর্তী, সবাই সঙ্গে রয়েছেন সবসময়ের মতো।
এরা আমার সবাই ছাত্রী,
সবাই তোমার ছাত্রী। আমি তো
ছাত্রী।
সবাইকে চিনতাম না, কিন্তু আমি জানি যে এনারা সবসময় কালাকারের অনুষ্ঠানে থাকেন। তো আজকে তো এনারা থাকবেনই, এনারা আজকে না থাকলে তো ভীষণ রাগ করতাম আমি সবার উপর। সুমন চ্যাটার্জি রয়েছেন, সম্রাট বিশ্বাস, ইন্দিরা, সিদ্ধার্থ। আমি সবাইকেই একটা কথা বলি, গুরুজিকে নিয়ে আমরা যে অনুষ্ঠান করছি, আপনাদের যদি ভালো লাগে সবার সাথে শেয়ার করবেন। আসলে অনেক কথাই অনুষ্ঠানে হয় যেটা সাধারণত স্টেজে পারফর্ম করতে গিয়ে শিল্পীরা বলার সুযোগ পান না, নানা রকমের অভিজ্ঞতা। সেই কথাগুলো জানা এবং সেই কথাগুলো শোনারও অনেক দরকার আছে, বিশেষ করে আমরা যারা শাস্ত্রীয় সঙ্গীত নিয়ে কাজ করতে চাই তাদের জন্য। তো যদি এই প্রোগ্রামটা ভালো লাগে, please share it with your friends and relatives and your students as well. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, মাসি এবার বলো, আমার মনে হয় প্রথমে আমরা একটু গান শুনি তোমার কাছে, তারপরে কথা বলি। আমি জানি সবাই গান শুনতে চাইছেন।
ওকে।
সিদ্ধার্থ, জাস্ট একটা কথা বলে দিই, আমি জানি হোয়াট ইউ সে ইজ কনভার্স ইন ইংলিশ অর হিন্দি। মোস্ট অফ কালাকারস অডিয়েন্স বেস আর নন বেঙ্গলি, দ্যাটস ভেরি ট্রু, বাট দ্য থিং ইজ টুডে ইজ 22শে শ্রাবণ। তো এক গুরুর নামে গুরু শিষ্য পরম্পরা করতে গিয়ে আর এক গুরুদেবের জন্য একটু কথা তো বলতেই হয়। সেই জন্য আমি প্রথমে একটু বাংলায় শুরু করেছি, তারপর থেকে পুরোটাই ইংলিশ আর হিন্দিতে হবে।
मातङ्गतनये मदशालिनी वागीश्वरी मम विजहादेवी गीर्वाणी महादेवी मातङ्गतनये मदशालिनी वागीश्वरी मम विजहादेवी गीर्वाणी महादेवी मातङ्गतनये मतंगतनय मधुषा लागे लगन सखी पति सन लागे लगन सखी पति सन परम सुखा अति आनंदन लागे लगन सखी पति सन लागे लगन सखी पति सन परम सुख अति आनंदन लागे लगन सती पति सन लागे लगन सती पति सन लागे लगन। এটা গুরুজির প্রিয় বন্দিশ ছিল। Actually, Guruji has immortalized this composition. So I just wanted to sing 2 lines of Guruji. This composition actually Guruji immortalized in the sense, you have seen, you have heard, I think you must be knowing this song and you must be singing this song as well, Chandra. The second line, especially the second line, Parama Sukha, Ati Anandan, the way he sings. Parama Sukha Ati Anandana. This line. This line, I think nobody sings like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Most of the musicians, very well-known musicians nowadays, I have seen them learning the same composition from Guruji in front of my, I have seen many times, many musicians learning. But this line, they have manipulated. They never sang exactly like Guruji. Actually, this composition, all of you know that this composition is of late Ustad Aman Ali Khan Saab's composition. But our Guruji has immortalized this composition. And especially this second line, the way he sings, is unique. So I just wanted to hum that line in his memory. And this is the composition I heard him in early 60s when I was a student in Shantiniketan. At that time, there was a big conference going on, 3 days conference. First day I heard Ustad Salamat Ali Khan Saab and Nazakat Ali Khan Saab's Kalavati. That was my first introduction to Hindustani classical music. I was trained in Carnatic music by my mother, Srimati Rajalakshmi Raju, and then Sangeet Vidwan, Sri Janaki Raman. And later on, it was a big story. I took in my pre-university course physics, chemistry, biology with music, which is an unusual combination. Just influence of friends and all. Then later on, I got a seat in Vizag Medical College. But Chandra, all destiny. Then my father got orders that on deputation that he has to take the charge as Bharat advisor to block development officers in Kathmandu, in Nepal. So that's how I came to Shantiniketan, because my father said, you have been always singing and then you always wanted to become a good artist. How come all these things are transitory, influence of friends, you wanted to become doctor and all. Then not knowing anything, I went to Shantiniketan. What type of music is there, I don't know. I just wanted to study music there in Shantiniketan. But when I went there, then I came to know that there is a music called Tagore music, Ravindra Sangeet, or Hindustani classical. But unfortunately, the seats have been filled up. I couldn't get a seat. And then Vice Chancellor, Mr. S.R. Das, in those days, He called us to his home, and then he asked me to sing, and then I sang, I think, Jaydev's Ashtapadi. And then he said, you have a very good voice, this and that, but you are very young. You can learn music after your graduation, he suggested. And then he told me, then what is your next choice? Because I can't go against rules. Seats in Sangeet Bhavan filled up. I can't go against rules. Now, what is your next choice? Then I said, philosophy then. Because I had, this philosophical discussion and spiritual background in my home, in my childhood. So then I took philosophy honors. That is, while doing my second year philosophy honors, this conference happened, music conference. And then second day, I heard Guruji Guruma. The same composition, Lagi Lagan, I heard Guruji's. It was marvelous and then amazing. And then straight away I went to them and I expressed my desire that I want to be your disciple. Guruji and Guruma, both of them. Then Guruji Guruma said, oh, you are studying here now. You complete your graduation, come to Calcutta, we'll teach you. So then I was counting the days. And that was the first time I heard Hindustani classical music. उससे पहले हिंदुस्तानी संगीत किस चिड़िया का नाम है मुझे नहीं पता था.
अरे बाबा. अच्छा.
तो फिर मैं बस सपने देख रही थी. When will I meet Guruji and Guruma and all? Then the destiny. You think something and then God Almighty has different plans for you. Then I married a Bengali, and then he happened to be a nephew of our principal. So I came to Calcutta. Calcutta was my home several years. So soon after marriage, I went to meet Guruji and Guruma. My late husband, Pran Kumar Guha, he took me to my gurus. I was little late because he wanted that I should have some recommendation from Shantida Ghosh. Then we should go to them. So that took little time, and then by that time, what should I say? It was 7 months after my marriage, 7-8 months after my marriage. So I went there, and then they said that they were very happy that I'm so dedicated and that I'm very serious. I said, okay, but they could sense that I'm going to be a mother soon. Learn for some time now, and again after that you start seriously. So 2 months I have learned. I was carrying my first child, 7th month at the times, I remember. So 2 months I have learned, and after that, বড় ছেলের অন্নপ্রাশন টাশন দিলাম. তারপরে again I started. That is in 1966 or 67 I started seriously. And then there was no looking back till my second son born. 13 years I started learning at a stretch. My second son was born. Again there was some gap, but after that again I continued till the last day of their life. It was a long relationship with them.
I know.
Even I was not learning. I was progressing gradually with their blessings. After learning 5-6 years, Guruji took us. We were about 10-12 students. Took to Juvani. That is, I think, in the year 1971. Juvani. And we all were selected, Juvani. And then after that, 1 year I sang in Juvani. After 1 year again, All India Radio. In those days, radio, everybody used to listen radio. Radio was very prominent in those days. Radio artists singing in radio means a big thing in those days. And then slowly, from Juvani to, I got B grade first, then B high, then A, then with their blessings and with blessings of the Almighty, top grade. But till then, but I used to continue my music till their last day. Even they were not teaching, but I used to compose something, and then I used to sing before them. I used to ask their blessings like this. It continued.
That is a wonderful story.
Yeah, I was wondering that you have never heard Hindustani classical music before you've heard my Guruji, right? Our Guruji. So obviously before that you were practicing South Indian style,
Carnatic.
Carnatic music, which is completely different than our Hindustani music. So how was that transition like? How did you change from one style to completely a different style? I'm sure Imtiazda, Kamalvirji, and all our audience would agree that this is a wonderful story, and it is fascinating that someone you heard someone and you think I'm going to change my style completely, which is not one gharana to one gharana. It's just complete different style, isn't it? So how did
Yes,
that
yes, Chandra, you are right. It was not very easy. In the beginning itself, actually, I wanted to learn from both,
happen?
which was, of course, not a practical idea. Guruma told me, well, your voice seems to be similar to my voice. That's she told me, similar to my voice. But I want you being a South Indian. Your Guruji was also from. He was also from South Guruji. So first you learn 10 years from Guruji, and after that I'll take you. That was her first condition. And second condition is 5 years you will not listen to Carnatic music, you will not sing Carnatic music. I lost touch with my own music. I, you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I lost touch with my own music. I felt bad those days, but now I realize they were absolutely right. In 2020, a great musicologist heard my singing in New York in 2020. Uh, he has a book, Dr. Deepak, what's his name? He has written a book on Khayal vocalism and a migrant from South India. He devoted a big chapter for me, and then he praised that not only in her pronunciation, in her style, there is no touch of Carnatic background.
Mm.
And that was a big compliment. Then I did pranam to Guruji and Guruma. Guruma was correct. So don't listen to Carnatic music for 5 years and don't sing Carnatic music for 5 years. Even though I lost my touch, but still I appreciate and really I obeyed. In those days, if Guru says something, we can never argue. Those days were different. Now you can't impose those rules to your students. Anyway, I accepted it, and then in the beginning, it was very hard for me. I was very comfortable in sargams and tams,
Mm.
but rather in this alap meditative mood is concerned, because Carnatic music starts with middle tempo,
Mm.
Kirtana Sampradayam, and then middle tempo. But Hindustani music is, it's a meditative mood, especially Kirana Gharana,
Absolutely.
stability of the notes and all. But I was all the time running tans and all these things.
Mm.
Guruji said, no, first, I used to sing in a very high pitch. Now, of course, I sing in natural B. In those days, Guruji made me sing in B flat.
Okay.
B flat. You reduce your scale, and then you practice more on the stability of notes. And do you know, Chandra, Yaman I have learned. Yaman learned almost 1 year. If you teach Yaman nowadays 1 year, the student
Nobody
will
will come. I'm
even
sure
be
the
Yaman.
students are listening. I hope you all are listening what Mashi is saying. That I was actually telling one of my students the other day, younger girl, and said, "Oh, it's been 3 months that I have been practicing Bhairav. Can I learn something else?" I said, "Oh my God, if it was our time, years, you need."
Yeah, 6 months only area, 6 months. One Alankar he gave me, Samagari Sarigama. I think you also know that Alankar. Samagari Sarigama, Ripamagari Gamapa. He gave me only one Alankar. He said, if you practice this Alankar, all the Alankar are saying that. That Alankar, I make it a point to give to my all my students. One Alankar and then Eriyali, 6 months. 6 months. And then one bhajan he gave me, Hariguna Gavat Nachungi. That was in Yaman, Mira Bhajan. That was the only bhajan I learned from Guruji. And then after that, Vilambi Tektal. Then he introduced me to Vilambi Tektal. And slowly. Then second and third, fourth track, I don't know, his way of teaching to me is the same to other students, I don't know. But he taught me in this way. First track, so many months, only Eriyali 6 months, then Vilambi Tektal, and in between one bhajan Yaman. And then he gives me Puriya Kalyan. One note different. Yaman. Puriya Kalyan. Only one note. Yeah. Yamane একটুখানি কোমল ঋষভ লাগিয়ে দাও পুরিয়া কল্যাণ হয়ে যাবে। He used to say, he had his unique way of speaking in Bengali.
Absolutely.
And then after Puriya Kalyan, and then you like Yaman, right, Sumitra? In Yaman, you have that Shuddha Madhyam, Komal Madhyam. With that Komal Madhyam, you learn, Behag. You leave that Komal Madhyam. I'll introduce to Shuddha Madhyam. And me, Behag, he taught me. Puriya Kalyan, then Behag. Then after Behag, then he taught me Sutsarang. So his way of teaching to me was something very different.
Was a bit different, yes. Yeah.
Because he said
wonderful stories.
Then they asked me, what you want to become? You want to become a good guru? You want to become a musicologist? You want to become a good artist? Then they said, of course, a good artist can be also a good guru. What do you want? I said, I want to become a good artist. So then you listen to whatever we say. And then I listened to them. Absolutely. I never argued with them.
Lovely stories, Mashi. We have Chainika Chakraborty, Malavika Mondol, Rakesh Sharma from New York, Kali Krishna Guha, Kali Kaku ভালো আছো আশা করি। আরো যারা সঙ্গে রয়েছেন সবার জন্যই বলি, এত সুন্দর সুন্দর গল্প কিন্তু সত্যি স্টেজে মাসির গান শুনতে গেলে শোনা যেত না। তো ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে মাসি, আর মনে হচ্ছে যেন সেই গুরুজির বাড়িতে ফিরে গেছি, যে সময়টায় তুমি আসতে গান শিখতে, আমি তখন গুরুজির বাড়িতেই থাকি। ওই যে একটা পুরোনো দিনের সময়। But anyway, we'll have to converse in either English or in Hindi. But
Yes.
Mashi, would you please like to sing something for our audience, and then Kamalvirji and Imtiaz can ask you. I'm sure they have loads of questions that they are waiting to ask. But before that, if you could hear a little bit of music, please.
Yes, good idea.
What you want to listen? Tell me.
তোমার যা গাইতে ইচ্ছে করবে তুমি গাও, যা তোমার ভালো লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ, গুরুজিকে আমি অনেক সময়, গুরুজির গানটা তো তুলনা নেই, কিন্তু ওনারা আমাকে পারমিশন দিয়েছিলেন। জানো তো তোমাকে আমি দেখেছি অনেক ছোট, যখন গুরুজি ওনারা টালিগঞ্জে ওখানে আইটিসির ওখানে থাকতেন, কিন্তু তার আগে বহু বছর বকুল বাগান রোডে ওনারা থাকতেন। তো আমার মনে হয় তুমি 70s-এ গেছো না 80s-এ গেছো গুরুজির ওখানে?
80s-এ গেছি গুরুজির ওখানে। বকুল বাগান রোডের বাড়িতে আমি যাইনি।
তুমি যাওনি? হ্যাঁ। তো আমাকে ওনারা মিডল 80s-এ পারমিশন দিয়েছেন কম্পোজ করতে। দিদি বলেছিলেন যে 10 বছর পরে আমি শেখাবো, কিন্তু মাঝখানে অনেক মানে 3-4 বছর পরে ওই তোমার লম্বা চুল আছে চারুকেশী রাগ শেখালেন, তারপরে এরকম উনি তো ইমোশনাল ছিলেন সব, তো এরকম করে মাঝে মাঝে কখনো চারুকেশী শেখালেন, কখনো মালাই মারতা, এরকম কিছু কিছু স্পেশাল রাগ গুরুজি দিদি শেখাতেন। তারপরে একদিন আমি শ্যাম কল্যাণ শিখছিলাম গুরুমার কাছে, তো then she was teaching me Savan Ki Saaj in Sham Kalyan. It's a very popular composition. I asked her, Didi, I have a question. I said, na aage shekho tarpore question. In those days it was like that. First you learn, then you ask whatever question. So after that, after our lesson, after my lesson, I asked her, now, can I ask you something? I said, you see, Sham means evening, Sham means Lord Krishna. Then how come Savan comes in Sham Kalyan? Savan, we have lots of Savan, Badal, Garjan, all these things in Malhar. But Sham Kalyan, why there is no mention of evening and no mention of Lord Krishna? Then she said, look, nowadays you people are educated, you people have come and music, it's very good. Now you're already an A-grade artist and performing. I was performing those and I was already All India Radio A-grade artist in those days. In middle 80s I'm talking. So then I started composing. My first composition, I just hummed that line, Matangatane Madhushalini, Vagishwari Mama Vidyadehi. I just sang, before. That was my first composition. Then I composed 2 compositions in Sham Kalyan, and then I presented before them. And they gave me approval and they blessed me.
I think we've lost our connection there.
Yeah, Masi's connection is a bit lost, but I'm sure she would come back. There is no Amphan at the moment, thank God for that. And there is no, as far as I am aware, কোনো ঝড় ঝাপট কিছু নেই, তো আশা করছি কানেকশন ফিরে আসবে।
What's a fascinating? It's a fascinating sort of story of the musical journey, of a musical journey, perhaps. And yeah, she might be coming back.
হ্যাঁ, মাসি এবার একটু গান শুনি।
হ্যাঁ। Shama, Shama, na mana me Chela chabile saiya, chela chabile saiya, mohaliyo manmora, chela chabile saiya, chela chabile saiya, mohaliyo manmora, chela chabile सैया अब ना सताब मोहे कितने सावन बीते अब ना सताब मोहे कितने सावन बीते बीते कितने बसंत बीते कितने बसंत चला चबील सैया चला चबील सैया मोहयो मन मोरा मोहयो मन मोरा चला चबील सैया pani sari ni sari ni sari sa re ma pani sari da pa da ma pa da ma ni sari ma pa da ma ni sari sa ni sari ma ri pa ma pa da ma re sa sari da pa ma da pa ma ri da pa ma ri pa ma ri pa ma da pa ma re sa sari ri sa pa ma da pa sari ri sa pani sari ri sari pani sari da pa ma ni sari चला चबील सैया चला चबील सैया मोहलियो मन मोरा चला चबील सैया একটু ছোট্ট করে শোনালাম ভালো করে গাইতে গেলে অন্যরকম দরকার তাই না
কিন্তু ছোট ছোট করেই তুমি অনেক কিছু কম্পোজিশন আমাদের শুনিও মাসি, কারণ এইভাবে ঘরোয়া পরিবেশে শোনার সৌভাগ্য তো হয় না সবার। Kamalveer ji, Imtiaz da, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, as we all know that you sing very, very good. And also you told a few things which like Hansadvani, Lagi Lagan is a signature for Kananji. And whenever we know Hansadvani, we know this one and we know Kananji straight away. And Kalavati, you said, Ustad Salamat Ali, Nazakat Ali. I think it was Bana Banai, that composition they used to sing in Kalavati. And that is also signature. Whenever you remember Kalavati, somebody talks, I always remember Salamat Ali, Nazakat Ali.
Yes.
So that is, some rag becomes really signature because of some great artists have sung it so good that we will always remember that rag and that artist together. Then you mentioned Yuvavani, 70s. I remember I was also a student. So first Yuvavani, I was at Bhopal when that started, Yuvavani in Bhopal. So I was the first artist to play in the Yuvavani. And that was the first session when they called me to play violin. And I was a student only, just learning violin for the last 6 months. But I played there, so whatever it was. But yes, that's another thing you said. And yeah, regarding your migration from Karnataka to the North Indian music, it's a wonderful story because I've noticed quite a few artists who have actually migrated to North Indian music, and they have done extremely well, and they have shown their class as the top class. And Rajam, for example, in violin, Kala Ramnath.
Yes.
And Venkatesh, he sings so well classical music. So it's a wonderful thing that there must be something, the basic training in the Carnatic music, which equip people so nicely that when they migrate to North Indian music, they do it extremely well. And also listening to your Hindi, your English is so clear, so pure, that you don't show any touch of the South Indian accent in that. It's so pure. So you have that tendency of learning and migrating from one to the other and completely taking over. I was highly impressed with that. Thank you.
Thank you. No, one thing I want to say here, why my Guruji is, I don't want to mention the names. Guruma clearly told me, mentioning one great artist's name, that great artist, what she did, what she or he did, both artists, they mentioned the names, but I respect them, I respect their voice, I respect their art, so I don't want to take their names. But Guruma, just for my knowledge, she mentioned, you don't want, you shouldn't be like them. Because when they sing Carnatic, Carnatic people say it's not Carnatic. There is influence of Hindustani. Again, when they sing Hindustani people say it's not Hindustani, it's Carnatic. In spite of having a beautiful voice and great artist he was, they couldn't succeed. They couldn't get appreciation from music lovers and musicians. Music lovers they must have been, but not musicologists. They criticized because influence is there. That's why my Guru warned me.
Yeah, just that very good thing they told. And also, I think in those days, in 70s, and when things were just beginning to happen, migration from north to south or south to north, and same with the accent. When you used to announcers and newsreaders on the radio, they have to know pure Hindi in very good Hindi accent, otherwise they were not accepted. But since then, things have changed. Now people accept different accents. So hopefully now if somebody come from Carnatic to the North Indian music with still touch of the Carnatic music will be accepted as far as it's very high quality. So in those days, it was very, very big problem in speech or anything.
Yes, you're right.
So, and you have overcome that biggest problem hurdle so nicely.
Thank you.
I really
Because
admire your effort. Yes.
when I went to Shantiniketan also, it was a great challenge for me. I was supposed to take second language because Hindi, very little I knew. Very little I knew because, there were simple exams like Prathamik and Madhyamik. I passed those two exams. But I didn't know at all. But see my audacity, I took as a second language in my graduation, Hindi. I used to
Right.
work very hard and I hardly managed to pass out in Hindi.
That's very good. Yes. No, I can see that you have that quality of molding yourself into any color, which is great.
It's all, at the end of the day, it's my Guru's blessings and the blessings of Almighty, of course, my blessings of my parents, and my late husband was a great
Sure.
source of encouragement for me.
Sure.
He
Yes.
encouraged me a lot and he
Yes.
kept his promise. That was also, I'm always grateful to all these people.
Sure. I'm sure.
Imtiaz Bhai,
Imtiaz,
any
I think
questions from you?
I think my thing is I want to listen to music. I think I can see the audiences are also eagerly waiting for some more music. So Didi, if you can sing, then I can ask a very small question. I think I'm in a mood of listening to you mesmerizing.
Bhajan shunabo, na kyal shunabo, na ki shunabo.
খেয়াল শুনি
Whatever
মাসি
you feel like.
খেয়াল শোনো
I think খেয়ালই শুনি একটু
খেয়াল শুনি আমার নিজের কম্পোজিশনটা শোনায় না গুরুজির কিছু শোনায়
হ্যাঁ তোমার কম্পোজিশন শুনি আমরা
আচ্ছা तुझसे नाही बोलू सैया तुझसे नाही बोलू सैया सगर रैन जागे तारे कारण तुझसे नाही बोलू सैया सगर रैन जागे तारे कारण तुझसे नाही बोलू सैया सगर रैन जागे तारे कारण तुझसे नाही बोलू सैया सगर रैन जागे तारे कारण बेदर्द सैया लागन कारण जुग जुग से बिछड़ी मैं तोरे कारण तो से नाही बोलू सैया सगरी रहनी जागे तारे कारण तो से नाही बोलू सैया सगरी रहने जागे तारे कारण तो से नाही बोलू सैया तो से नाही बोलू सैया बेदर्द सैया लाज नाही आवत बेदर्द सैया बेदर्द सैया लाज नाही आवत जुग जुग से बिछड़ी मैं तोरे कारण जुग जुग से बिछड़ी मैं तोरे कारण तो से नाही बोलू सैया सगरी रहन जागे तारे कारण तो से नाही बोलू सैया तो से नाही बोलू सैया तो से नाही बोलू सैया
Wow,
क्या बात
wonderful.
এটা আমি
At the beginning,
বানিয়েছিলাম কিরবাণীর উপরে বানিয়েছিলাম এটা এটা
yeah, but I mean, at the beginning, I said it would be a mesmerizing sort of performance. How it was beautiful. Thank you. I think, I'm, I'm probably youngest, or probably in terms of apart from Chandaji, I'm the youngest in terms of my musical journey. Let's put it this way here. But I think, my feeling listening to your stories is this: that is, you are probably blessed with gurus you're talking about, but your journey is quite interesting because you had that when you're composing any music, you have that Carnatic music back of your mind. No matter how much you try to forget that in your performance, it's in back of your mind, I think. And also your journey through Hindustani classical music later on, and perhaps your study in Shantiniketan, and all those philosophy. You studied philosophy. I know my parents are from philosophy background. They used to teach, and so I think all those things perhaps gave you the recipe of composition. I'm just talking to you about your own composition now, rather than anything else. You probably enriched your in your mind, and to have some great compositions by yourself. And also when you're innovating, when Khyal or any Hindustani classical music is perhaps your own imagination when it's coming out, your creativity, it helped a lot in that. Am I right in assessment in assessing that?
Of course. Hindi is not my mother tongue, as you all know.
Yes.
Neither I know much Sanskrit a bit, because my grandfather was a Sanskrit scholar.
Yeah.
Thus I was little influenced, and my mother used to know Sanskrit. Little bit of Sanskrit I understand, and Hindi, as you all know, I just it was a sat sahas bolo ya dussahas bolo, I took as a second language in my graduation without knowing everything, and I had to work very hard. But I express in Hindi, I don't know why, not even in my mother tongue. When I practice, I'm not a good writer, neither I can, I don't write, I'm not a writer, and then ar koviu bolte parben na amake. But when I start practicing, or sometimes certain feelings come. A couple of years ago, I had an accident. And I know I was confined to one room, and terrible pain and all, everything. Those days, I composed few compositions. While I was practicing, Rag Marwa. When Guruji used to teach me Rag Marwa, I never liked. I said, Guruji, all these rags are Mardana rags. I don't want to sing. I said, Baba, tumi to shikhe to nao, tarpore tumi gao na gao dekh tarpore porer kotha. So Marwa, Darbari, Kannada, all these things I used to think it's all Mardana rags, not for us. But according to with the age and experience, I love Marwa now. And I was practicing Marwa. Suddenly, some feeling came. I was thinking, Lord Krishna, he was a small boy, 12-year-old boy, when he left Mathura. When he was leaving Mathura, what sort of feelings Yashoda Mai, Gopikas, and Radha, they all must have felt about Lord Krishna. So one composition, it just stuck to me. I just wrote down and then I composed. And then next day I was practicing same Varva, and I was thinking of my spiritual gurus, Sai Baba, and all, Maharshis and all saints. I was thinking those spiritual gurus. At the same time, my music guru, Pandit Kanan and Malvika Kanan. A certain respect came. Out of that, Guru Charananaku Namanakaru.
Why don't you listen to that now? I want to listen it. We've all broken it tonight, please.
And then I'll sing. And then after that, third day was practicing. Some feeling came. Suppose the same Krishna comes back, what should be the excitement? Another composition came. So it's all God's grace and my blessings of my gurus and blessings of my parents and all well-wishers and all. Otherwise, I'm nothing. I don't know the language. It just comes out. I'll sing. Which composition you would like to hear?
Mashi, I think we would love to hear. I'm talking on behalf of the audience that they would love to hear a few compositions which you have made, as you said, in different mood when Krishna goes and he comes back, and then Guru. So please, if you could just sing those for us.
मत जय श्याम। गुरु चरणन को नमन करो, गुरु चरणन को नमन करो, गुरु चरणन को नमन करो। गुरु बिन ज्ञान नाहि आवत, गुरु बिन ज्ञान नाहि आवत, गुरु बिन ज्ञान नाहि आवत। गुरु चरणन को नमन करो, गुरु चरणन को नमन करो। ज्ञान की ज्योति गुरु ही जगाए, ज्ञान की ज्योति गुरु ही जगाए। गुरु पर ब्रह्मा गुरु परमेश्वर, ज्ञान की ज्योति गुरु ही जगाए। गुरु पर ब्रह्मा गुरु परमेश्वर, गुरु चरणन को नमन करो। रि ग म ध ग म ध म ग रि ग रि सा नि ध नि ध सा नि रि सा ध म ध म ग रि ग रि सा नि ध म ध नि ध सा नि ध म ग सा नि ध रि ग म ग म ग म ध नि ध नि रि नि ध सा नि रि सा। गुरु चरणन को नमन करो, गुरु बिन ज्ञान नाहि आवत। मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत, मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत। मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत, मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत। मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, गावत नाचत सब ब्रजवासी। मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, गावत नाचत सब ब्रजवासी। आनंद आनंद छाए, आनंद आनंद छाए, आनंद आनंद छाए। मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मन मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, अब मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत, मुरली बजावत धेनु चरावत। मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, मधुर मधुर मुरली धुन बाजे, गावत नाचत सब ब्रजवासी, गावत नाचत सब ब्रजवासी। आनंद आनंद छाए, आनंद आनंद छाए, आनंद आनंद छाए। मोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मनमोहनाय सखिरे देखो रे, मनमोहनाय सखिरे। ओ
Wow, 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 wow. Beautiful. So good. I mean, this is what a good musician always want to make their own composition. rather than sticking to the same traditional ones, which is good. You have to learn the traditional one, but unless you have desire and the capacity to make your own composition, there's no point in learning music. And you're
I do
doing
sing
so
traditional
beautifully.
composition, but sometimes I would like to express. Then it comes.
Yes, sure. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. So you have that desire of doing your own work as well, inputting your own work, which is the most wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Let me read some
Hmm.
comments from
Chandra.
our audience. Afrin Haq saying, wonderful treat for us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Afrin, for joining. Tanula Chakraborty, absolutely beautiful rendition of Marwa. Dodul AR, oh, what a divine composition and rendition. Excellent, heartfelt greetings. Davinder Lambaji is requesting on behalf of Kalakar to all of you to share, like, and comment. Devinder Lambaji is one of our really great supporter who has been with us from the day one since Kalakar has started the journey. Thank you, Devinderji. Ruby Chatterjee is saying, my Gurumas, all the compositions are absolutely fantastic. Mashi, what I would like to know, and I'm sure some of the students would also like to know the technique of Riyaz, especially at this age. Your expertise, the way you are performing as if it's like a teenage girl. I'm sure they would all agree. So what is the secret, Mashi? Share it with us.
Uh,
You mean
Chandra,
over the age of 25?
I crossed that age many decades ago. Well, I think Chandra, you are one of the talented students of our Guruji. Young, I think youngest students now. You had a beautiful voice, and then I always used to hear about you from Guruma and Guruji. You are doing very well, and what is a remarkable thing is, you have taken a great initiative to promote our Guruji's philosophy, our Guruji's method of teaching, our Guruji's music by way of conducting all these concerts. That's most appreciable, and I really love you for that, and I bless you for that.
Thank you,
Uh,
Mashi.
and another thing, you are asking me the secret. There is no secret. My love for music, and then my devotion to the Almighty. My devotion to the Almighty. I have been, I've brought up in an atmosphere, and I was taught that music is one of the way to reach God. Because, to reach God, it's a big task. You have to do hours and hours of meditation, hours of sadhana. You have heard of Ramakrishna Thakur in meditation almost all day. And, we heard about Mahatar Babaji, the Dickless Saint. You must have heard about, I read about autobiography Yogi. You must have heard the name of this book.
I have.
Yogahamsa Paramananda, Mukunda Ghosh.
Absolutely.
He's from Calcutta. So, reading all these books and then teaching some Bhagavad Gita, we had this atmosphere in house. And my mother, my grandmother, they all used to sing. So music and the spiritual attitude has come naturally to me. Naturally. But, coming naturally is only 10%, 15%. You have to learn and you have to work hard. And then from the very beginning, okay, if I learn music, if I sing, maybe God will be pleased. That was my idea. That was my idea. So still I'm, doing research in that. How to reach absolutely that blissful state that comes once a while and again disappears. So my love for music mainly, and secondly, I always tell my disciples, whoever this program, they're all my very dear disciples. Some are very old disciples, So since decades, they are learning from me. I'm also blessed with good disciples. This Guru Shishya Parampara is also, you know, it's a lifelong relationship.
Absolutely.
We are talking of Guru Shishya Parampara. Our Guruji also taught hundreds of students. Do you know that? How many have maintained the relationship? Tell me. Same way, it will happen in your case, in my case also. Some come and go.
Yeah.
Some they go after their work is finished, but some are very dedicated, very loyal and all. My secret is only my love for music. That's all. I love music, and and I love to reach Almighty one day through music. It may take many births, I know, but that's my idea. I think this is keeping me going alive,
But
keeping alive.
for your students, Mashi, how or other students who are keen to learn in a proper way, what would you suggest? How should they practice, if I may ask? Do you suggest they practice the alankars for some time before they learn a raga? I mean the practice technique. If you could just tell us a little bit more about it. The technique of a right practice.
Yeah.
What should it be?
Well, Chandra, times have changed, and you also have to change according to the times. Maintaining the main idea, maintain the Guru Shishya Parampara relation, because in our times, Guruji, we always used to see 5, 6 people. Little bit, Guruji used to teach, because it's not possible to teach one student 1 hour. 6 or 7 we used to say. Maybe 25 minutes to half an hour he used to devote each student, but he used to teach very nicely, and we used to listen to others also. But nowadays, what I do, I devote almost an hour, you may say, 45 minutes to 1 hour, I devote to each student. I focus on her or on him. I have boys also. They're attending my program today. 2, 3 boys also there. I tell them one thing. You see, sargam, notes are very important. Whenever I teach raga, first you practice the notes in teen loy. First slow, then when you are sure of slow, then you increase the speed, middle, then fast. First you practice in mandra sapta, lower active. Lower active, about 15-20 minutes you practice in a slow motion, in a slow line. After 10-15 minutes, then you increase the line, second line. And after 5 minutes, so almost half an hour you be in lower active, then middle active. Then you go to tar saptak. This is how you teach. Take any rag. First, I don't teach them straight away the rag. I teach the composition. I teach the sargams. First, the whatever the rag may be. Some ragas are straight. Some are little complicated. No matter. But the sargams of the raga, you must have the knowledge of the notes and the placement of the notes and placement of the phrases and shrutis of each raga. Suppose you are singing Kannada, you have to be very careful of that shruti. You are singing Malhar, you have to this Gamarisa, Ripa, the combinations, you have to be very careful. So, as Guruji preferred to teach me Yaman first, I also teach. Mostly advanced students, they come to me. I also start with Yaman. And then I don't teach them year long or 6 months is raga. Just 1.5 month I teach first raga, and I tell them to focus on notes, and then establish the placements of the notes in your mind, and the same thing bring it to your vocal cords. This is the first lesson I give them. So each raga, till they become very advanced, very advanced. I mean, even advanced students. Now, why very advanced? Even the advanced students, suppose I am teaching somebody a very advanced raga like Vachaspati or Charukeshi or Kirvani. I give them only the sargams and the composition. First, you practice a week or 10 days this composition and this way. And by this way, I have seen the progress is little fast.
Hmm.
If you teach a student straight away raga, it takes time.
Hmm.
That I have observed.
Hmm.
This is my own way of inventing. As I told you, you have to change according to the time
With the time, yeah.
and all. And but they are progressing well by this method,
Hmm.
and some are performing already. My disciples.
One of our audience is asking, Jagdeep Mudan, he's asking, please suggest techniques for swar abhas, perfecting the frequency of each note swar before moving to another note. And now he's saying, of course, music is Gurumukhi discipline, but in the modern world and in COVID situation, should students make use of chromatic tuners to perfect swar frequency?
Well, swara is swara, whether it is COVID or no COVID. You have to practice. You have to practice. Well, music is Gurumukhi Vidya.
Yeah.
So, in schools and colleges, दो चार तान सीखे ना, दो चार सरगम सीखे ना, बंदिश गाओ. You appear for the exam, you get A grade, B grade, whatever, first class, second class, third class, that is different. Schools and colleges, teaching music is something very different. Getting degrees, different. Even, there are many PhD students who are online today. Even for them also, same technique I teach. And then this is Gurumukhi Vidya, you cannot learn music in books. You cannot learn music, in some other way. It is Gurumukhi Vidya. Guru के चरण में बैठना होगा आपको, आपको सीखना होगा. I can just explain. I have explained about the practice, but how you have to apply the notes and everything, one has to learn from Guru properly. A Gurumukhi Vidya. You have to learn from Guru. And
Jagdeep,
online classes, it's quite helpful. I can say it is 90% purpose is served, if not 100%. Because I am taking online classes, but online classes is for advanced students, I feel. It's more beneficial for advanced students. What do you think?
I'll first say hello to Jagdeep Madan. Jagdeep Madan is a very, very high quality tabla player. He lives in Northampton. Excellent tabla player. So it's a very good technical question he's asking. That's right, because he's very musical. So nice of Jagdeep Madan to be in this room. But I was thinking that these online rooms, actually, they have contributed so much to the classical, especially the classical music. All we see on the television, YouTube, here and there, film songs, Bhangra music, all kind of popular music. Classical music is there, but there are not many audience. For example, couple of people I know in this room. One is Devinder Lamba, which we all know, and Dr. Rakesh Sharma. He's my friend from New York. He's in the room as well. So they are not into the classical music, but since these online concerts started, they're coming into the classical rooms and beginning to enjoy classical music. And to the artists who are contributing, like you, who are contributing in this room, it's a great, I should say thank you very much, because many artists are refusing to come in these rooms because they don't get paid or whatever is the reason. So it's their loss, because I'm so happy that many artists, I didn't hear the name before, and now they're coming out, and we are realizing that there are many, many good artists. We never heard of the name because few artists are dominating the field, and we only think that they are the great artists, not the others.
Yeah.
But now we are seeing so many great artists in India. So I must say that these organizations like Kalakar Arts, they're doing a great job for bringing artists and making the general public start appreciating classical music.
Many thanks. Many thanks, Kamal Vijay. But can I just follow up your technique questions over there, if I may, just for a simple, my understanding is, yes, you need the voice training. Yes, you need to do all those things as your guru advises you. But perhaps, as an individual, student perspective point of view, the most important thing, perhaps I might be wrong, before I say this, is thinking about it. Is thinking about is to understand the whole thing and actually have some form of, take it inside, because rather than doing it like it tell me saregama, I go saregama and do saregama for 1 hour is not going to help you. But that's very fundamental. I think from the beginning the learners should understand that there has to be some form of thought process going into it, and start
Exactly.
thinking about particular ragas
Completely agree.
and it's really important.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just told you about the technique of the practice.
Yeah.
But when you sing, the feeling is very important. Here comes the spirituality. Spirituality and music inseparable. Spirituality means not religion. It is something feeling. Music. Whatever song you are singing, the composition. The meaning of the lyric. Whatever you are singing, whether it is devotion or whether it is romantic, whatever it is, that feeling is very important. Unless and until you put the feeling in music, then it becomes raw.
Yeah.
It's a physical exercise.
Yeah.
Palta riyaz kora alada ব্যাপার, রিয়াজ করে গলার টেকনিক is something different. গলার রিয়াজ করা আলাদা ব্যাপার, কিন্তু when you sing it is something different. Alankar, why do we call it alankar? It's a raw word is palta, but beautiful word is alankar. These these paltas, we use our aesthetic sense and we apply in our music
Yeah.
with aesthetic sense.
Yeah.
Then they become alankaras.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, practicing and doing tans, terrific tans, sapat tans, and then shoot tans and all things. Once upon a time, I also used to do those things. I thought, then I said, I'll tell you the small thing here. Chandra, when I became top grade of All India Radio in 1995, I just wanted to inform my father, because my father knows how hard it was and the struggle I was having, managing family, music, and everything. So it will be very good news for him. I just wanted to convey the news to him. But the moment I conveyed to my father that I became top grade in classical music, Hindustani classical, there was no response that day, that side. In 1995, there was no mobile. This thing, STD, I have to dial STD. I said, maybe line is not good. So I just shouted, Papa, I have become top grade. Then my father said, don't shout. I heard you have become top grade. Some musicologists, some very senior musicians must have heard you, and you sing technically very good. They have given you top grade. But to me, you become top grade when a person doesn't know classical music, appreciates your music. So that was an eye opener to me. My father's way. Then I didn't give much money. Well, technical points you have to keep in you, tans, sargams, and everything. But I said no. There is something else. There is something else. You have to keep the melody intact. You have to keep the feeling intact. You have to make difficult things easy. When you sing like this and then posing all these things, very difficult thing, people think what a kasrat we are doing, what a gym, what an exercise we are doing. No, it should have that aesthetic feeling as well, and then it should have the appeal, and it should touch your heart. Then Chandra, I started practicing in a different way, and then to little extent I have succeeded. Just in 2000, I heard this in 95, just after 10 years. when I performed in which university in USA, Virginia University. When I performed, 1.5 hours I performed. About 50 students, they came and told me, ma'am, we didn't understand a single thing what you sang, but it touched our hearts. So I just saluted my father. So that's how, you should take your elders' opinion. You should remember your guru's advice, and you yourself are your best critic. I always tell my disciples, you tape your music. Every 1 or 2 months, you tape your music, unbiased way, you listen. Even I listen to my music. Sometimes I'm not happy. I'm hardly happy. Even today, I'm not happy the way I sang. So I should have done a little better. So you should be your own critic. Then I think there'll be progress.
Yeah.
The day you think I know everything, finish.
Yes, absolutely right. Thank you.
These discussions will continue, Jagdeep Mudendi. And Prishni Asthana, I'm sure you have now got your answer that you were asking about the spirituality in learning music. What Sumitra Mashi explained, that only through music you can reach to the Almighty, dedication, sincerity, respect to your gurus. I think this is all what it means by spirituality in learning music. We are almost coming to the end of the first session today. In the next session, I'm going to be joined by another maestro, Pandit Debojyoti Bose from Kolkata. But before we conclude the session this time, Mashi, I'm sure everybody would love to hear your wonderful bhajan. You have got great compositions, bhajans, I know. I have heard it myself. So please, if you could sing little for us, that would be, I think, excellent. Everybody would love that.
मैं तो सावरे रंग राजी, मैं तो सावरे रंग राजी, साज सिंगार बांधी पग घोंघरू, साज सिंगार बांधे पग घोंघरू, लोक लाज तजी नाचे, मैं तो सावरे रंग राजी, गई कुमती लई साधु के संगति, भगत रूप भई साथी, गाय गाय हरि के गुण निस दिन, गाय गाय हरि के गुण निस दिन, काल व्याल सो बाची, मैं तो सावरे रंग राची, मैं तो सावरे रंग राची, मैं तो सावरे रंग राची, गुण बिन सब जग खारो लागत, गुण बिन सब जग खारो लागत और बात सब काचे मीरा श्री गिरधारन लाल सो मीरा श्री गिरधारन लाल सो भगत रसील जाची भगत रसील जाची मैं तो सावरे रंग राची मैं तो सावरे रंग राची मैं तो सावरे रंग राची
क्या बात है, वाह, wonderful.
Thank you so much, Mashi. এত ভালো লাগলো. It was such a wonderful session, insightful talks about training, Guru Shishya Parampara, and thank you for joining me to celebrate our Guruji's centenary. I hope we can continue with this Guru Shishya Parampara journey, and whoever wants to learn, whoever is willing to learn, the one thing that Mashi said, and I also say that it's a Gurumukhi Vidya. You have to go to your Guru to learn this. And it is a spiritual thing. You can't just get it from YouTube or from a book or, just by listening to other artists. You have to really go to a Guru, take their suggestion and learn. And that's when you can become a good musician and a good human being as well, as Guruji used to always say. Thank you, Mashi.
Thank you for the opportunity, Chandra,
Thank you.
Imtiaz Bhai, Kamaljeet ji,
Thank you,
and I
ji.
offer millions of pranam at the lotus feet of my Guruji and Guruma. Let them be happy, and I pray to Almighty to give them Sadgati wherever they are, and let them be happy, and then let their legacy continue. Chandra, let their legacy continue.
Absolutely.
And God bless you all.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mashi.
Thank you.
So I'll take leave of you.
Thank you.
হ্যাঁ মাসি, আবার কথা হবে. We'll see you very soon.
আবার কথা হবে.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
I'm waiting for Debojyoti to join us. He's a maestro himself, you have heard him many times. I'm not sure whether Debojyoti is actually known as Tonida to many of us, and I'm not sure whether he has appeared in any other online sessions. I don't think he has, but he was very attached to our Guruji and Guruma. So we would know a lot about Guruji, Guruma, and those days from Tonida. So I'm just waiting for him to come online. But to our viewers, thank you so much for being with us. Lucifer, Laila, Afrin, Samia, whoever was with us today, thank you very much for joining. And please do stay tuned now as we have Pandit Debojyoti Bose joining us from Calcutta.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Dada.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Actually, first of all, I just want to talk about Vijay, my friend, my colleague, Vijay Misra, the Sarangi player. Today we have lost him.
Who passed away today.
Yeah, so this is a really sad day for us, especially who were very close to him. My entire family is very connected with Banaras Gharana and all the people who belong to Banaras. So Vijay and all of them, they are very close to us. So really, I just pray for him, and really not in mood to talk much, to play much. Still, since I have committed, I am here. Whatever you want to talk to me, I'm ready to talk.
Thank you. I have heard the news this morning as well. But I don't know whether you would like to start with the music, maybe dedicated to your friend, whatever you like, that, and then we can talk about Guruji and Guru.
Yeah, sure, sure. That's fine. That we can dedicate our today's program to him. So he was such a nice friend. He was such a nice person. So far behavior is concerned, and everyone know he used to play very well. So that's the thing, we are all feeling. I just talked to Tejendra in afternoon about this and all.
Yeah.
হুম, তাহলে তুমি কি বাজাবে দাদা? বাজনা কিছু দিয়ে শুরু করব, ওনাকে ডেডিকেট করে, যদি তুমি কিছু বাজাতে চাও।
শিওর। ওকে। সব থেকে প্রথমে আজকে যার জন্যে এসেছি, যাকে অসম্ভব শ্রদ্ধা করতাম, ভালোবাসা ছিল এবং অসম্ভব স্নেহ পেয়েছি।
Dada, sorry to
রিয়েলি
interrupt, Dada. I have been reminded many times by our audience to converse either in Hindi or English, because half of them are non-Bengali audience.
although
So,
that's fine, no problem, whatever you like. So
thank
the reason we are here for Kanun Jetu, he was such a nice human being, and I'm fortunate enough to have blessings from him many times from the childhood. So I remember I was, I think, 3 or 4 years old at that time in Mahajati Sadan. I went with my father because he was supposed to accompany him. And I still remember that uh, the Hamsdani he sang that day. The Hamsdani. I'm just playing a little of that bandis. Everyone know that a very famous composition, even in South Indian music. Uh, but what is to be noticed that in that age, I didn't understand, or I didn't realize uh, that it was just like Ustad Amir Khan Sahab. Later I understood, and later I realized that really it's just like Ustad Amir Khan Sahab's voice, Amir Khan Sahab's style and all. Though he much later he came to Khan Sahab because he was a disciple of Girija Shankar Chakraborty. So I'm just let you listen a little bit of Hamsdani, that Bandesh.
Wow.
Wonderful.
So I still remember, those days when uh, I think the Calcutta Music Circle was there where my father used to go. So sometimes he took me with him, and there was Kumarji too, that the Kumar Mukhopadhyay, and Vijay ji and Malavika Pishi. It was a fantastic, the place. If you just sit there, you can learn so many things. Even my another brother, Joyanto, Joyanto Bose, he used to go at that time, and he learned a lot from and Joksa was there. So many, all good musicians were there. And I always find Kanan Saab not a good musician, not only a good musician, but he was always childlike. He was a really honest human being. And you know very well how he used to manage his house. At the same time, he used to teach, he used to sing here and there. We all have seen him. Malavika Pishi was also very close to us. I always remember her because so many difficult, जिसको हम अप्रचलित राग बोलते हैं, वो बहुत अच्छा गाती थी. ऐसे ऐसे राग वो गाती थी, छाया नट, तो कभी मतलब सरपर्दा बिलावल, ऐसे ऐसे वो गाते थे कि हम उस समय तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आता था. बाद में लेटर आई अंडरस्टूड all the things I got in a very tender age. तो उसमें क्या होता है, आप बचपन में कुछ भी सुनते हैं, बाद में जब कुछ सीखते हैं तो वो यू कैन रिमाइंड, यू कैन रिकॉल ऑल द थिंग्स दैट हेल्प्स यू अ लॉट. एक कलाकार बनने में बहुत सारे कलाकारों का योगदान होता है.
Absolutely. Very well said, Dada. Kamalveer ji, Imtiaz da, would you have? I'm sure you want to ask many questions to Tony da.
First of all, I will. I'm really sorry to hear that Vijay Mishraji was your very close friend.
Yeah.
So we can understand your situation today, that you're still coming online and doing music for us. So thank you very much for that. And you started with Hansadwani again, which Kananji's signature rag. And thank you very much for that. And I think at this stage, we probably, rather than talking too much, probably let you just concentrate on a little bit more playing, so that slowly, then you can go into the talking mood. In this situation, maybe play some more music for us.
That's fine. I think it's better, within the conversation, if we need to demonstrate something, but definitely I'll play for you. But I think
Sure.
it's better to talk about music and music world and the musician like Kanon Jetu. We are missing those days. Those musicians we have seen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure. So in
Oh,
that
sure.
context, may I ask you a few questions? Obviously, you said when you were a little boy. So there's a noise in my garden. I'm sorry about that. When you're a little boy, you used to accompany your father, and you bent all these joints of
Yeah.
Hindustani classical music. Um, but how did you came from? Those are mostly vocalists. You did, and few of them are musicians. But what interested you in sarod? Why not vocal music? Why sarod? From your journey point.
First of all, I should say that the music is not my choice.
All right.
By default, I'm a musician,
Uh-huh.
fourth generation musician. And actually, what happened, we three brothers used to play tabla in a very tender age. But my father never want us to play tabla, all three brothers. He always used to say that you play something, so you can jam, you can create so many things.
Mm.
And at the same time, my mother was a sitar player, and she was a disciple of Ustad Mustaq Ali Khan Sahab, and later she used to learn from Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. So she, what I felt, I'm telling you, that she
Mhm.
thought that nobody is going to maintain my legacy. Everyone is after father. So then, primarily I started sitar from my mother, but it was really paining in my finger. So I was trying to avoid it. And at the same time, my father was so intelligent. He brought a sarod and he just kept it in my home. Okay, so in a tender age, whatever the instrument, whatever the thing you see, you have to have the interest to nurture that. What is that? So just like that, I started trying playing Bollywood songs and all in sarod. And at that time, I even didn't know how to tune the sarod properly, and what are the gharanas, so many things I didn't know. So when I started playing the Bollywood song, then my father asked me, I think it's better if you mm, play the nagma, so I can practice with your help. So I started playing nagma and todi. At that time I didn't know that todi, it was a todi. So I find the nagma and I started playing. So after that, slowly I think the interest goes up. And my another uncle was a sarod player. He was a disciple of Anil Rai Chaudhuri, Pandit Anil Rai Chaudhuri. So I asked him how to tune, how to handle this sarod. So he told me about that. And then, uh, I tried my level best to follow my guru from my tender age, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab. I don't know why. Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab was very close to our family. Since my mother is a disciple, my father accompanied him so many times. Unfortunately, people don't recognize. So, but we have all the photographs. So, but still I have obsession of my guru, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab. So I started trying all the bandishes, everything, whatever I have heard at that time by long plain record. So then my parents were so liberal, they never told me that you have to learn from Ali Akbar Khan Sahab because he is my guru. Never. My parents used to say that it doesn't matter, you choose your guru, but you have to have full faith on him. So actually, I started following my guru in a very tender age, because my father, my brother used to play with him. But at that time, only my guru used to say that, okay, okay, I'll teach you, you play, I'll teach you. So finally, from 1976 or 77, I started learning directly from him. And in 1980, I just went to Delhi and I stayed there for a long time. At that time, it was a very hard time for me learning from him. The situation, was not very supportive at that time. And I already, we lost our father. Uh, my guru, just became our guardian. So this was the story. I entered in the world of Sarod.
And now, as you are performing, Sarod,
Yeah,
and like you were saying earlier, that it's a culmination of your experience that you actually learn at your tender age from vocalists or other instrumental sort of maestros. And obviously, it is impacting or not impacting, but kind of influencing your own compositions or your own performance. So, I mean, and then also you mentioned a very interesting last few sentences, saying one has to have this journey, shall I say, in my own words, journey
yeah,
of music to
yeah,
have that richness, background richness, in terms of getting into that sort of phase, a second phase, shall I say, of learning to then flourish.
yeah.
But one may not be very fortunate. One may not be very fortunate. I mean, of having in this circumstance, for example, now the young learners at this moment. So how do you think they could enrich? I mean, obviously there is digital platform, there's digital way of sort of listening to great maestros. But obviously we're talking about Guru Shishya Parampara in this series. How essential is that in these circumstances?
According to my opinion, I told her that I can say really so many truth because I left music world already.
Have you?
So yeah,
You
I
have.
left
You are
music
here.
world.
That's all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So now really I can tell you
Yeah,
the main problem in every country, so far culture is concerned, it's always depends on the socio-economical structure.
of course.
So wherever you just look, you will find that the setup we used to learn, my son is not ready to learn in that way because the time has changed.
Hmm.
But what I have found, that the relation with guru, it's very essential for learning. So unless and until you are very much attached with your guru, it is you can watch my documentary made in my 50 years where my guru is saying that मैंने सबको सिखाया, and this is very true. I have seen उस्ताद जी सबको सेम ध्यान लगा के सबको सिखाया, लेकिन वो डॉक्यूमेंट्री में बोल रहा है कि लेकिन शायद टोनी को मुझसे ज्यादा प्यार था।
Hmm.
तो प्यार बहुत जरूरी है, समर्पण तो बात की बात है। So unless and until you can grab your guru whole, I'm not saying about the music. So sometimes I had to mimicry my guru on front of my guru and guruma. So it's order. So
Yeah.
why? Because when I was learning from my guru, I was a very critical condition, so far staying is concerned, fooding is concerned, everything. But it didn't matter really because I was so attentive towards my guru. मैं तो उनको सिर्फ उनको देखता था, मुझे कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता था।
Mhm.
तो उनका हर जो है हर स्टेप, हर बात, हर मोटिव, एवरीथिंग आई ग्रैब। और मैं ये जो आपको बोल रहा हूं, आप पूछ सकते हैं, उनसे भी पूछ सकते हैं, कई लोगों से पूछ सकते हैं कि ये सही है कि नहीं, कि एक जब तक गुरु को आप एकदम अपना ना ले, आपके अंदर वो बस जाए, तभी आप उसको आप ग्रहण कर सकते हैं। This is very difficult, this is very
Mm.
difficult, and there is no way. These days, we are doing online classes, we are doing so many things. YouTube से कोई सीख रहा है, ये नहीं हो सकता। मैं आपको बताता हूं, I am really updated person. I am having my studio. I can work. I have worked in 6 films and 50 serials. So I'm not a backdated person. But I'm telling you, ये क्लासिकल म्यूजिक जो है, ये एक अनुभव है. तो ये ना कोई किसी को दे सकता है, ना कोई ऐसे ले सकता है. अगर इस ये ट्रांसफॉर्म हो जाता है, अगर ट्रांसफॉर्म हो गया तो तभी बन सकता है, नहीं तो नहीं बन सकता है. अभी देखिए, दुख की बात है कि म्यूजिक हैज बिकम अ बिजनेस. ओके, एक समय था जो रियली क्लासिकल म्यूजिक था. What if you ask me what is the difference between classical music and classical music business? I am telling you very simple, very simple. जीने के लिए सही में सबको खाने की, रहने की जरूरत होती है. ये सही बात है. अब सवाल ये उठता है, आप कैसे जीना चाहते हैं? आपको इतना बड़ा घर चाहिए कि आप खो जाए उसमें, आपको इतना गाड़ी चाहिए कि आप गिन नहीं सकें, आपको इतना पैसा हो कि आपका दिमाग की उसमें इतना बस जाए कि आप रागों के बारे में सोच ही नहीं सकते. तो जो कलाकार लोग थे पहले, उनको देखिए, उनको कोई इतना क्राइसिस नहीं हुआ था. उनको सब खाना भी मिला, वो अच्छे भी रहते थे, लेकिन वो संगीत में जुड़े हुए थे हमेशा. तो बाद में जब डाइवर्शन हो गया, यू हैव टू प्रमोट योर सेल्फ. तो अब गड़बड़ क्या हो गया? गड़बड़ ये हो गया, तो वो सिर्फ म्यूजिक में नहीं हुआ. यू कैन वॉच इट इन एवरी फैकल्टी. कि आप दुकान में जाके पूछते थे ना कि अच्छे साबुन, कि अच्छे शैम्पू, क्या अच्छे कुछ भी पूछते थे आप. अभी आपके घर में आके बताता है वो. तो आप दुकान में जाके नहीं पूछेंगे, तो कॉन्फ्रेंस में जाके सुनेंगे, तभी पता लगेगा कि कौन अच्छा बजाता है, कौन अच्छा गाता है. वो तो है नहीं. अब तो आप देखेंगे पेपर में किसका तस्वीर आ रहा है, तो जाहिर है वही अच्छा होगा. तो टोटल जो what I told you, it depends on the socio-economical structure.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that
I don't have any allegation, nothing. I don't know what is wrong, what is right, but I just felt that it's not my cup of tea right now.
I mean, I think I can bring up some other aspect of this particular aspect of our society that you're talking about, which is perhaps the simple word is consumerism. This consumerism is everywhere. Now, however, we live in the West. We live in London and other East countries. I mean, the European countries. Now, but we do see that that trend is not there in a different way, if you see what I mean. That consumerism, is always going to be that pop or the Bollywood or Hollywood music would be, famous. Millions of people would follow that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
That's not your cup of tea. That's okay. But the classical music is obviously a limited number of people would be appreciative of classical music. However, to learn it properly, to go through the journey is a must. And most of the musicians here, Kamal Biji can compliment me here and with this, they have vigorous training, they have vigorous understanding what they're doing, and then they become eligible to perform in Royal Albert Hall or any other places, because there is a system behind it. And probably that's what you're probably talking about, the system or the grooming process for these
Exactly. And one thing you didn't say, that unfortunately we got the market economy, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं बाजार अर्थनीति. तो when you are in a market, तो आप बाजारी हो गए. और ये दिस म्यूजिक तो हो ही नहीं सकता कभी ऐसा, क्योंकि दिस इज अ क्लासिकल फॉर्म. तो क्लासिकल म्यूजिक को आप जितना पॉपुलर बनाने जाएंगे, उतना ही ये बुरा होता जाएगा, क्योंकि ये तो है नहीं सबके लिए. इफ यू वांट टू गो थ्रू टैगोर, यू हैव टू हैव अ लिटिल एडुकेशन. तो वही उतना ही अच्छा था जितने लोग सुनते थे, जितना लोग जैसे ही इसको पॉपुलराइज करने की कोशिश की तो ये गड़बड़ हो गया। तो उसमें क्या हो गया कि जैसे कोई बॉलीवुड सिंगर का हिट गाना होता है ना, तो प्रोग्राम होता है तो वही गाते हैं वो, क्यों लोग वही चाहते हैं।
Yeah.
अब देखिए क्लासिकल म्यूजिशियन भी हिट राग गाते हैं, जो राग बस उनसे सुनना चाहते हैं तो वो गाते हैं। वो अपने लिए नहीं जी पाते हैं, वो
Sure.
दूसरों के लिए जी पाते हैं। लेकिन द डिफरेंस बिटवीन यू नो classical musician and the people who are in entertainment world, that we should live for us. और जो एंटरटेनर है उसको सोचना पड़ेगा कि कैसे हम लोगों को खुश करें। तो वो दो जब एक हो गया तो सारा गड़बड़ हो गया।
But I think we can make it right. I think I'm not pessimistic about that, but I think we can make it right. This kind of talk would definitely, I mean, we've been doing this journey through this Kalakar, initiative of Guru Shishya Parampara for the last few months since it, and I think a lot of masters had come into this podium like yourself, and we are doing this open discussions and debate to like a self-critic, so that we can move forward and create an ambience that we really want to create for our audiences, and to promote the art, the rich heritage that we have. Yeah, thank you.
I always wish you very very good luck. और मैं एक बात और कहना चाहूंगा कि जो भी whoever learning instrument, they should know that we didn't have any instrumental heritage, only
Yeah.
we have vocal heritage.
Yeah.
तो गाना उस्ताद जी हम लोगों को सिखाते थे ज्यादातर गा के, बजा के नहीं।
Sure.
तो वो हम भी गाते थे, उसी को हम सुनाते हैं। तो वो बहुत जरूरी है कि जो भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट में है वो बहुत ज्यादा गाना सुने। जितना गवैया को सुनेंगे उतना इंस्ट्रूमेंट में उसका असर आएगा। और आपने सुना होगा, आई ऑलवेज से माई गुरु सरोद इज सिंगिंग सरोद, तो वो बिल्कुल सरोद में वो गाते हैं हमेशा। तो वो जो है हमको बहुत बहुत ही अट्रैक्ट किया था वो, जो ये कैसे वो कर रहे हैं, जिसमें एक जबाज प्लेक्ट्रम, वी प्ले विद द प्लेक्ट्रम, वी हैव स्ट्रिंग्स इन डिफरेंट नोट्स, लेकिन जब वो बजाते हैं लगता है वो बोइंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजा रहे हैं। सो दिस वाज द मेन थिंग अट्रैक्ट मी टू गो टू हिम। तो मैंने काफी कोशिश किया। सो लेट्स प्ले अ वेरी rare raga and composition I have heard from Malavika Pishi. So that is
I was actually going to ask for this now, Dada. Thank you.
I am telling you that's the raga even I have heard from Abdul Karim Khan Sahab, Ustad Abdul Karim Khan Sahab. So the Sarparda Bilawal, that's very rare raga. So this is, if you will find sometimes bihag, sometimes little bit Jai Javanti. So this is a very interesting raga, and I'm fortunate enough to have a very nice concert. Actually, it was not a concert. I'm telling you, in 1978, Kolkata Durdarshan organized an interview of my guru, and interview was taken by Malavika Pishi, and my elder brother was in tabla and my father was alive at that time. So it was a really a memorable, memorable day for me, and I can still remember. तो जब बातों बातों में उस्ताद जी कहा कि एक बंदिश है जो आप गाते हैं मैं भी बजाता हूं, तो एक एक साथ करते हैं. So that's a very popular, bandish of raga desh, बीती जाती कर पुकार. वो बहुत आप लोग भी सुने होंगे, बहुत लोग गाते बजाते हैं. तो उस समय what I felt, why I am telling you that Maluka Bishi was singing and my guru was playing sarod. But sometimes, you will feel the both the things are same. एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट में बज रहा है, एक गले से हो रहा है, वो फर्क नहीं हो रहा था. It was so nice experience. I am playing a little for that.
Yeah, please. Darun. Ah, very nice.
क्या बात है?
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I mean, because you,
So
Because
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I like a few points he mentioned. One thing is that you must be in love with your guru, hence you must be in love with his music. So until you are in love with his music, you can't love your guru. So that means you have to understand your guru and have full faith in him. So unless this faith is there, you cannot love him and you cannot learn from
Yeah.
him whatever
E-
you want to gain from
exactly.
him.
Yeah,
Second thing
exactly.
also,
You have to unless and until you can recognize your guru's soul of music. That's the
that's
word
right.
I was trying to say, the
That's right.
soul.
Also, you
कि वो
mentioned
कैसे,
that.
उनका सोच क्या
Hmm,
है.
that's right. बिल्कुल सही बात है आपकी. एंड दूसरी चीज आपने ये भी कही कि satisfaction in your music or in your fame. So that's also very important. I mean, most of the people who run towards the fame, they better not take classical music. They just go into popular music, light music, whatever. When you're learning classical music, you just learn it, you just go into the depth of it. If fame
Yeah.
comes with that, it's a bonus. But you
Yeah,
shouldn't run after the
exactly.
fame.
Exactly.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
right. And third thing, you also said that vocal application into in the instruments, which is very, very important in my opinion. Uh, for example, I'm a violinist, and I never liked the violin when I was a child. I used to hear violin played like a sitar style, and I thought jhala in the violin sounded a bit harsh to me. So I never liked violin until I heard Mrs. N. Rajam playing in the vocal style, and suddenly violin attracted me. I always wanted to learn sarangi. So I learnt my violin from sarangi players. So it's the vocal, the part he mentioned that any music, any instrument you play, it got
Yeah,
to have the vocal application in it. Otherwise, that
exactly.
instrument, then you can play guitar, you can play bass guitar, you can play the acoustic guitar, whatever. That's different kind of music. You can play mandolin, you can play santoor. But when you're learning instrument, the advantage of these instruments, sitar, sarod, violin, sarangi, because you can do the meat in a real way, in actual way. The meat can be pseudo, meat can be real. So these instruments can produce a real meat, and that's again vocal. Unless you follow the vocal and love the vocal, you cannot justify these instruments.
Yeah, yeah. And any
So you
any
can't
kind of
forget that.
stroke, or whatever it is, sort of sitar or santur, we are always trying to create an illusion.
Hmm.
What kind of illusion? Illusion is, if I sing, "Eh, na, na," so it cannot be done in sarod. Okay. So I have to find the way. How can I make this illusion in front of you so that
Yeah,
you will listen that thing what I'm singing,
that's right.
but
That's right.
actually I'm not playing that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So we are
obviously.
always giving supplement
That's
by
right.
chikaris, chhed, so many things are there.
Yeah.
Well,
And
sometimes the
at the same time, to that illusion, which is the vocal, you're adding some more effects with the
yeah,
jhala, with the chikaris, etc., as you said. So yes. So, but basic idea, basic concentration, basic attention is towards the vocal.
exactly.
चीजें वो कहते हैं
But,
ना,
but
गायन से क्या गायन से वादन अधीन. सो देयर इज अ मुहावरा समथिंग कि सबसे ऊंचा गायन है, उसके बाद
That
वादन
is
आता
that
है.
that is उत्तम गायन, मध्यम वादन और विचित्र नृत्य कहा जाता है.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Something
but
like
but
that. I forgot the full phrase. So
but,
yeah, that's the
but
idea कि vocal है. Vocal is the first thing, क्योंकि शुरू तो vocal ही हुआ था. पहले तो आवाज ही होती थी. आवाज से सब कुछ शुरू हुआ. तो बाद में साजों में अप्लाई हमने तो बाद में किया. अच्छी अच्छी आवाजें हमें साजों में या चीजों में, ऑब्जेक्ट्स में सुनने लगी. अब लोग बैठे बैठे गिलास ही पड़े होते हैं, उनमें पानी भर भर के जल तरंग बना लेते हैं घरों पे. सो ये सारा फिर क्रिएटिविटी तो बाद में आती है ना. मेन तो म्यूजिक सुर है ना, कहाँ से आनी है.
Yeah.
but I think
There are some comments that I would like to read here, Imtiazda. And Dada,
Sure.
you said you have come out of the music world, right? Now,
हाँ,
there are some comments that people saying that they have Arupratan Chakraborty saying from Kolkata that Dada, awesome. And I have heard you last time at Shubhankar's house. So Shubhankar Barite, I'm sure there was a Mehfil where you have performed. So they are still remembering that. So you cannot come out of the music world, Dada.
I'm telling you what happened. I performed last in 6th February with Jugesh Bhai and Shubhankar both. It was a very huge concert, and then in that concert I announced that I am leaving music world, not the music. I'm still a musician. I will be a musician, but it's very difficult to sustain in music world with only music. अब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सिर्फ खाने के लिए गाना बजाना करने का क्या बात है. बहुत कुछ है, हम कर सकते हैं. आई एम ऑफ दैट कैलिबर. वो तो बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं. मैं तो अभी तो खैर मैं आई एम अ पॉलिटिकल मैन, होल टाइमर ऑफ द तृणमूल कांग्रेस, बट मैं कुछ और भी करता. तो आप सोचिए, ये नहीं हो सकता है कि मैं इसलिए बजाता हूं कि इससे सिर्फ मुझे खाना मिलता है. ये मुझे, मैं सहमत नहीं हूं. और उसके लिए जो करना पड़ता है वो मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. मैं किसी को बुरा नहीं बोल रहा हूं, मैं कोई एलिगेशन नहीं दे रहा हूं. मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. जिससे हो रहा है वो खुश है, कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन आप एक बात
तो आप
छोड़िए म्यूजिक को, आप बात म्यूजिक का छोड़िए, एक बात आप सही में बताइए हमको. इतने लोग देख रहे हैं, सबके सामने बताइए. आई हैव नॉट लेस देन 50 स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ वोकल इंस्ट्रूमेंटल. तो मैं भी तो देख रहा हूं सब लोगों को. आप किसी को 10 मिनट बिठा नहीं सकते. आप किसको सुनाएंगे? वो या तो मोबाइल में बिजी है, इधर देख रहा है, उधर देख रहा है. इतना डाइवर्शन, इतना चंचल हो गया है. आप किसी का घर में अगर रिमोट लॉकर में रख देंगे तो वो सुसाइड कर लेगा, क्योंकि वो तो कोई चैनल देखता ही नहीं है. इधर उधर इधर उधर इधर उधर करता रहता है. तो ये एक संगीत है जो आपको सुनने के लिए, सुनाने के लिए पहले शांत होना पड़ेगा. अब कहाँ आप ढूंढेंगे शांत? कौन है? आप देखते हैं? अगर आप देखते हैं तो मुझे पता बताइए, मैं जरूर उनसे कांटेक्ट करूंगा. क्योंकि आई हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड, बिफोर द क्लास आई ऑलवेज वाज सेइंग माय स्टूडेंट्स कि भाई 10 मिनट के लिए चुप बैठ ना, कोई बात भी नहीं करना, कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ 10 मिनट चुपचाप बैठना है. तो ये हालत है. तो उस हालत में आप क्या सुनाएंगे? एक आप बताइए कि रागों का जो बेस है, वी हैव more than 250 ragas. अब all the ragas based on feelings, season, so many things, so many aspects are there. तो उसमें हर चीज में आपको अच्छा नहीं लग सकता है. अगर मुल्तानी मैं बजाऊं आपको बहुत अच्छा लगे तो वो मुल्तानी हुआ नहीं. वो आप सोचिए, जब 12 बजता है ना, दिन का 12-1 बजता है, एक अजीब सा महसूस होता है आपको, वो टाइम आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता है। उसी समय का राग है। तो अब हर राग को अगर मुझे आपको अच्छा लगाना है तो उसमें श्रृंगार देना है, लेकिन हर राग श्रृंगार रस का तो है नहीं। तो आप बिना श्रृंगार रस का कुछ सुनना नहीं चाहते हैं। अब सारे रागों का देहांत हो गया है। 10-15 राग, यू कैन गो थ्रू द यूट्यूब, यू कैन गो थ्रू एनी कॉन्फ्रेंस, वही घूम रहा है। क्यों? ये इसके लिए आर्टिस्ट भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, लिसनर भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है। जिंदगी, life is not an entertainment, you have to understand.
Yeah. I think perhaps because you are into politics and perhaps into a lot of other things, statewide at least. I mean, you can try and introduce this. This is just a thought right now. I haven't thought about it before.
Yeah. I actually, you know what I say. I left politics and I get into social activities.
Okay. So my suggestion,
because politics is everywhere. It's not only in in political party. Everywhere you'll find politics.
If we create, after the lockdown or COVID is done, if we create a musical concert where it will be thoroughly checked before any audience is coming into the thing that they should not get any electronic device. Yeah. No electronic device, no phone, no mobiles, nothing. And then only they can enter into that, whatever, 50 seats, 100 seats, or 200 seats auditorium. You can try that. It may help.
Again, I wish you all the best. What you are forgetting, see,
No,
I'm telling you.
That this is
what you are forgetting, I'm telling you. That's a very small point. Very small point.
Yes.
आप हमसे सुनना चाहते हैं, और मैं अपना मूड होगा तो हम सुनाएंगे। तो आपको 10 दिन आना पड़ेगा, कब हमारा मूड होगा तो हम सुनाएंगे आपको। और ये दिस इज वन थिंग, ओके। और दूसरा ये है कि आप मुझे पैसे देंगे, बोलेंगे अभी बजाइए, अब मुझे पैसे चाहिए तो मुझे बजाना पड़ेगा। तो जब बजाना पड़ेगा, अगर आप मुझे खरीद लेंगे, एक साबुन भी आप खरीदते हैं, अब आपका मर्जी सर पे लगाएंगे कि पर पैर पे, है ना? तो जितना आप बिकते जाएंगे, आपका कंडीशन नहीं चलेगा। कंडीशन तो जो सुनने वाले हैं उसका ही चलेगा। तो वो बिना मोबाइल के हॉल में जाएंगे, वो आपको बोलेंगे आप भी मोबाइल लीजिए तब टिकट खरीदेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं खरीदेंगे।
But what I'm saying, but I mean, do not. I mean, I think there is a logic behind my proposal. I tell you why. Because nowadays, you are not allowed to have certain things with you when you hop on an aircraft, right? You are checked, and you got your metal detectors and chemical detectors, you name it. Yeah. And if this is like Debojyoti Bose is only going to perform ever, and this Debojyoti Bose is like a king and god that we are, mesmerized by him. They're only going to perform in front of, for example, 50 people, but only condition is that in that auditorium, or whatever you call it, people are allowed without any electronic device. And I can guarantee you, we can find few more like you. People would come and will pay, and you will probably enjoy that thoroughly. This can be a separate way of fulfilling that thing that you're talking about, this entertainment.
I hope it will be there, and everything will be fine. But I'm telling you, the journey is a compulsion.
Yeah.
Don't forget it.
Of course.
Listening to the classical music is not the compulsion, because I have worked for ad agencies. I made not less than 25-30 ads, and then I came to know that not even 3% of total population take interest in Indian classical music. ये आपको समझना पड़ेगा, सब बहुत ही कम है, ठीक है? तो ये एक बीमारी है कलाकारों का कि मैं अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह पॉपुलर हो जाऊंगा, मैं किसी एक्टर की तरह पॉपुलर हो जाऊंगा, ये हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि वी आर इन अ क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, आवर क्लाइंटेल इज वेरी स्मॉल। तो उसको आप जितना बिगाड़ते रहेंगे वो बिगाड़ता रहेगा। जो आप बोल रहे हैं वैसा ही था दिन। हमने सुना नेहरू जी को पंडित कंठे महाराज जी के घर जाना पड़ा। आप हमारे दादा गुरु जी को कहा गया कि क्या चाहिए बोलिए, वो कह रहा है कि राग दरबारी को बचाइए, उनको कुछ नहीं चाहिए।
I heard the news.
तो
Yeah,
तो ये था, ये लोग थे, ऐसे लोग थे। तो लेकिन इसको आप कह किसी भी तरह इंटरप्रेट कर सकते हैं। देयर आर सो लॉजिक बेसिकली इज अ कार्ड्स इन ह्यूमन लाइफ, आई हैव फाउंड। तो हर किसी का लॉजिक है, कुछ भी आप बोलेंगे उसके अगेंस्ट में कोई ना कोई लॉजिक आ जाएगा।
Yeah, that's true.
लेकिन you cannot deny the situation, you cannot deny the situation. This year winter, me and my daughter, I drove at the I think 1 a.m. in the night to listen to Venkatesh Kumar ji in the World Music Conference. तो जब मैं वहां पहुंचा तो देखा ज्यादा से ज्यादा 300-400 लोग होंगे, इतना बड़ा ऑडिटोरियम में। तो इसको आप डेनी नहीं कर सकते हैं। द कैमोफ्लेज हैज बीन गोइंग ऑन फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम। आप मुझे इंटरव्यू करते हैं, मैं बताता हूं कि ये अभी बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, आगे जनरेशन बहुत अच्छा बजा रहा है, बहुत लोग सुन रहे हैं। ये दिस आर ऑल कैमोफ्लेज। ओरिजिनल जो तस्वीर है वो सबको मालूम है। तो कितना देर आप छुपाएंगे?
It's a responsibility on both sides, though. It's a responsibility on both sides, and actually, it's 3 sides. One is the organizer as well. I mean, we are forgetting them as well, because
या वो तो एकदम खत्म हो गया है। This is gone.
Third party. Yeah.
This is gone.
I think,
and I'm telling you, what we miss, really, I'm telling you, so many concerts, I can remember, I can tell you so many concerts of so many legends. भूल गए, हाथ में घड़ी है, क्या टाइम है, क्या सिचुएशन है, कुछ याद नहीं रहता था। ऐसा तो सुना मैंने। ऐसा क्यों नहीं होता है, आप बताइए। Why it is not there?
It's sad, but that's one of those things in the reality of life. I don't know how we accept that, but that's one of those things people do say. But we can, I mean, you can try and swim against the tide, but I don't know how much you can gain from there. But at this time, because you mentioned your Dada Guruji and his famous things that please, when he was taking the national award from the president, and he said that please save Darbari, and I had a kind of a blissful 3-4 days with your Guruji and Guru Ma here in London to stay. I mean, literally, staying with them for 2-3 days somewhere South England, and it's fantastic, fabulous person, both of them. People.
So that's the thing, only musician can change it. In next generation musicians, if they think that no, we should simplify ourselves, because लाइफ शुड बी वेरी सिंपल। जब आप बोल रहे हैं एक राग को समझने में एक जिंदगी चला जाता है, ये वेरी कॉमन वर्ड यू कैन हार्ड। तो एक राग समझने में जिंदगी चला जाता है, 4 घर 10 गाड़ी क्यों चाहिए, आप बताइए तो।
That's true.
अरे एक राग अगर समझ नहीं पा रहे तो एक ही गाड़ी काफी है।
Sure.
उसी में चल जाएगा जिंदगी।
May I request something now, because for you, if you can perform your Guruji's created ragas, if anything that comes into your mind.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure. My guru have created so many ragas, everyone knows. Among them, I'm just playing स्वर समीर, उन्होंने बनाया, बहुत हमको बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बहुत मैं बजा भी चुका हूँ। तो वो मैं आपको सुनाता हूँ।
বাহ! All our audience here, they were absolutely mesmerized by this, Dada. And let me just read a few comments. Heart touching. Dodul is saying heart touching. Arup Ratan Chakraborty বলছেন ওয়াহ क्या बात। চিরঞ্জিত মুখার্জি এর আগেও তোমাকে প্রণাম জানিয়েছেন দাদা।
হ্যাঁ, ও তো
চিরঞ্জিতকে
আমাদের
তো তুমি
বাড়ির,
চেনো,
হ্যাঁ।
কুমারদার খুব প্রিয় ছাত্র। হ্যাঁ, তোমাদের বাড়ি। Just to our viewers, you may have heard Tonida saying three brothers. I'm sure all of you know who these three brothers are, but just in case you don't know, the three brothers, one of them, the big brother, is the living legend of Banaras Gharana, Pandit Kumar Bose. Then we have Acharya Jayanta Bose, who is another legend, and Debojyoti himself. So these are the three brothers we are
Because I mean,
talking about.
just going to say one thing, I mean, because I was just talking in our adda, you see, this musical adda, that I think you need to, I need to know the gene from your parents, right? How on earth, maybe one of you could be, something else, but it's a fantastic sort of family legacy.
Yeah,
that you guys are,
actually in
carrying.
our family, the Akshay Kumar Bose, who started playing tabla,
Yes.
but he was not a professional. After that, my grandfather, he used to play Sri Khol, and he used to sing kirtan very well. So after that, my father and my 2-3 uncles are there who are also musician. But I really I want to mention it. Unless and until you have a mother like Bharati Bose, whatever you are listening to us, whatever you are watching us, that's only because of our mother. ये माँ जो है, ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट शब्द है। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं बहुत खुश हूँगा जिस दिन हर कोई अपना परिचय पहले माँ, उसके बाद अपने पिता का नाम बताएं, तो सबसे अच्छा वो उसी दिन आएगा हम लोगों के जिंदगी में, कि अगर ऐसा माँ ना हो तो कोई ऐसा कृति कोई किसी भी फील्ड में हो ही नहीं सकता। ये मैं विश्वास करता हूँ। ये मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि हर कोई हमारा बात को मान ले, लेकिन मैं आई बिलीव इन दैट कि
Very good.
बहुत important
It's a
role
great
जो
belief.
होता है. And my
Absolutely.
guru always used to say, your mother is your first guru and last guru. You always acknowledge your mother first. After that, आप किसी का भी नाम लो. वो हमेशा, लेकिन ये उन्होंने कहा.
হুম। অরণ্য নন্দন বলছেন অসাধারণ গুরুজি, আমার প্রণাম নেবেন। অপরাজিতা ভট্টাচার্য আছেন সঙ্গে, কেয়া ঘোষ, আফরিন, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এভরিবডি ফর বিং উইথ আস। Tonida, here is a very interesting question. I'm sure Kamalvirji, I'm not sure if you have heard this. Actually, I have heard this for the first time. That
This Rag?
there was a, yeah, there was a TV serial Tanshener Tanpura few months back. I have watched it, and they mentioned something, and one of the viewers is asking that to you, Tonida, that it is said that Raga Malkaush is favorite to bodiless spirits. To what extent this belief is true? Just curious. Actually, they have mentioned that Malkosh, why are you singing Malkosh? Ye to bhuto ke raga hai. I have never heard that. So I don't know where it came from to that TV serial. So I'm sure many of the viewers have watched that. So that
I
question is
actually,
for you.
I don't know. I didn't go through the film and music, but Malkos is actually Malop Kosh, तो बहुत सारे राग हैं. जैसे लोक संगीत से आया है, तो किसी प्रदेश से आया है, तो किसी देश से आया है. आवर इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक इज ग्रेट. व्हाई इट इज ग्रेट? Why it is great? Because thousands years back, I'm talking about, if you go through the books and all, you also find it out that the Muni Rishi who created Indian classical music, they were very liberal. They have taken every melody, every rhythm from every part of the world, and they have included in Indian classical music. लेकिन I have been touring the 27 years whole the world. 3-4 जगह बाकी होगा, बाकी मैंने भी घूम लिया. तो wherever we go, we play something. They say that, "Hey, this is very close to our music." Why? Because I'm telling you, all the music is included in Indian classical music. लेकिन there are so many countries who are very rigid, like China. I have worked with them. They say that we know the variation, what you are doing, but we can't do it. In Iran, so many places are there जो वो किसी से कुछ नहीं लिया, लेकिन हम लोगों ने सबके पास जो है वो ले लिया है. इतना ताल आप देख रहे हैं, फिर दो सवारी ताल, तो ये अफ्रीका से आया हुआ है. कई मेलेडी तो मालूब से है. मालूब कोश उसका नाम है, and colloquial we call it Malkos. But since I'm not very much aware of कौन सा भूतों का राग है, कौन किसका राग है, भाई ये तो मुझे नहीं पता है. So we sometimes use as a background music in different situations. So it depends how you are feeling in that
That's right.
sequences.
That's right. वो जिस चीज को जिस तरह पब्लिसिटी मिल जाती है, वो लोग वही समझने लगते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे भजन भी बहुत से मालकौंस, भैरवी वगैरह में होते हैं. So people think that these are only made for that. There's so many things. महेंद्र कपूर को लोगों ने पॉपुलर कर दिया था एज ए भजन सिंगर, while he could sing everything as good as anybody. So it depends on how you have projected, how you have brought the person forward, in what form, or any product, how you have marketed it.
Indian classical music is so vast, I'm telling you, it's really very difficult to understand. और मुझे तो ऐसा लगा कि मैं रागों को, देखिए, जानने में और पहचानने में बहुत फर्क होता है. मैं हमेशा बताता हूं कि आप अपने बेटे को या अपने पिताजी को आप जानते हैं, और मैं भी जानता हूं, इसमें बहुत फर्क है. आप किसी भी कॉर्नर से एक फोटोग्राफ देखेंगे, आप बता देंगे कि ये हमारे पिताजी है.
That's right.
तो उतना ही कठिन है एक रागों को पहचानना. और एक उम्र लगता है, उस उम्र के बाद जो है वो फीलिंग आती है रागों का, क्योंकि एक समय तक हमेशा ऐसा महसूस होता है कि स्किल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कि भाई बहुत रियाज करो और बहुत स्किल बहुत चाहिए. तो
बिल्कुल सही
स्किल,
बात
आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट स्किल इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट, स्किल चाहिए, लेकिन रागों को जो महसूस आप करेंगे तो ज्यादा कुछ करना नहीं पड़ेगा। आप एक एक रिकॉर्ड सुनिए 3.5 मिनट का पुराने, तो वो
है।
3.5 मिनट में जो कर चुके हैं वो तो मैं 1 घंटे में नहीं कर सकता।
हम्म,
तो
हम्म,
इसको कहते हैं इलास्ट्रेशन। तो मुझे
हम्म,
आपका तस्वीर निकालने में पूरा तस्वीर एकदम जैसे पेंटिंग होता है करना पड़ता है, और जो इलास्ट्रेटर है वो 4-5 ऐसे लाइन लगाते हैं, उसमें पता चल जाता है कि ये आपका तस्वीर है।
हम्म, हम्म।
तो
अब लोग,
वो एक
जैसे आपने
उम्र।
बिल्कुल सही बात की कि राग को समझना, दिस इज
हाँ,
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। उसको जानना और समझने में बहुत फर्क है। अब जैसे मारवा, पूरिया, सोनी, इसमें ही लोग कितना ओवरलैप कर देते हैं गाते गाते, बजाते बजाते। सो कैसे बचना है एक दूसरे राग से, तो ये समझ की बात है। जितना आप घुसेंगे, और और वो आदमी को इतना टाइम जिंदगी भर नहीं मिलता कि आप एक चीज को पूरा समझ
वही
जाएं।
तो मैं आपको
सो
बताता
फिर वो
हूं
लोग
कि
कैसे।
दिस इज द मेन प्रॉब्लम, दैट
हम्म,
यू हैव टू गो थ्रू डिफरेंट लेजेंड ऑफ माएस्ट्रोस, डिफरेंट घराना, टू अंडरस्टैंड अरागा। आप
यस।
ताल के बारे में भी वैसा ही है। तो इतना समय आप कैसे देंगे? इफ यू आर ए प्रोफेशनल म्यूजिशियन, यू आर ऑलवेज गोइंग थ्रू ईमेल एंड फोन एंड कांटेक्ट, एंड ये तो कैसे आप कैसे करेंगे? ये हो ही नहीं सकता। लॉजिकली बताइए आप।
दैट्स राइट।
तो इसीलिए मुझे लगा कि ये अब संभव नहीं है अब। और उसके उसके बगैर जो है वो चल रहा है, वो तो हर फैकल्टी में चल रहा है।
वो तो ठीक है, पर आई वुडंट आई वुडंट एडवाइज यू टू लीव द म्यूजिक वर्ल्ड। मे बी म्यूजिक सर्कल, मे बी, बट नॉट द म्यूजिक वर्ल्ड, क्योंकि म्यूजिक वर्ल्ड में आप घुस चुके हैं, म्यूजिक वर्ल्ड के आप पार्ट हो चुके हैं, एंड यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू लीव इट, और इफ यू लीव इट, म्यूजिक वॉन्ट लीव यू। सो वो आप अपने आप को म्यूजिक में ही रखें। यू हैव लॉट ऑफ पोटेंशियल, एंड वर्ल्ड नीड यू। क्योंकि सिर्फ जो है ना, हम लोग जिनको सुनते हैं, जो अच्छे अच्छे बड़े बड़े आर्टिस्टों को सुनते हैं, पर सबके थॉट्स नहीं सुनने को मिलते हैं, हमें उनका म्यूजिक सुनने को मिलता है। बट you are giving very good example in your thoughts as well, and those thoughts will not come without going deep into the music. So your musicality is very high class. It might not be productive in money wise, but that is something which will teach generations that what is the right approach to the music. May not be for money earning purposes, but spirituality, आपके अंदर जो मन की शांति है, वो तो चाहिए। और वो म्यूजिक से ज्यादा किस चीज में मिलेगी आपको?
नहीं
क्लासिकल
नहीं, वो
म्यूजिक
तो है
से
ही है।
ज्यादा किस चीज में
वो
मिलेगी?
तो है ही है।
या
मैं बाय डिफॉल्ट म्यूजिशियन हूँ, इस फैमिली में पैदा हुआ हूँ, तो म्यूजिक तो हमेशा हमारे साथ है, रहेगा भी। लेकिन मैं आई डोंट वांट टू टेक इट एज अ प्रोफेशन एनी मोर, क्योंकि मैं बजा भी चुका हूँ काफी। ऐसा नहीं है, 57 ईयर्स तक पूरे दुनिया में मैं बजा चुका हूँ। तो ये
और अभी
ऐसा
भी आपकी जरूरत है, आपके म्यूजिक की दुनिया में जरूरत है। तो डोंट डोंट गो आउट ऑफ दैट, माय एडवाइस।
मुझे लगता नहीं है कि मेरा जरूरत है उतना,
नहीं।
क्योंकि मैं कोई ऐसा कुछ खास कर नहीं सका। ये दिस इज द मेन थिंग
दादा, ये आपका
जो
कहना है, ये आपका कहना है मैं कुछ नहीं कर सका। ये तो मेरे गुरुजी व्हेन ही वाज 84 years old he said oh I couldn't even sing anything. तो ये तो आप कहोगे, but I think we all need you. We all need you here.
देखिए
I
मैं
have
यस।
I have a question, Dada Shono. I have a question here from, and the question comes from someone called Rohan Bose,
ओके।
right? So he's asking you, Rohan is asking, how has classical music technically helped you while arranging music and composing for commercial songs? And how does it help in working not as per your choice, but as per the choice of the film director or the person who has the vision?
Okay, that's a very valid question. I'm telling you, the first of all, the first question was the how Indian classical music helps in composing.
Technically helped you while arranging music
Yeah,
and
yeah.
composing.
I am telling you, if you can little bit understand Indian classical music as well as some important factors in Western music like progression, then you will understand that the the highest harmonization we find always in Indian classical music. How? I am telling you how. कि आप यमन गाते हैं तो तीव्रमा उसमें है, और तंबुरा जो बजता है वो पा सा 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 बज रहा है, तो आप खड़े हो जाते हैं तीव्र माह में, लेकिन आपको बुरा नहीं लग रहा है, लेकिन आप हारमोनियम में वैसे ही दबा के देखिए, आपको लगेगा अरे बाप रे बाप, इतना बेसुरा क्यों लग रहा है. सो द हार्मोनाइजेशन साइंटिफिकली सबसे ज्यादा वी फाइंड इन इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक. इफ यू नो द इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, तो हार्मोनाइजेशन का जो सवाल है वो एक किसी भी कंपोजर के लिए बहुत हेल्पफुल हो सकता है. एंड नाउ वी विल फाइंड द प्रोग्रेशन. Okay, what is the progression? So we call, in the guitar or in keyboard, we play like this. ये जो है इसको हम लोग कहते हैं chords progression. तो ये जो progression है, ये developed much because the primary chords were there, like I'm telling you, not less than 100 years back. After that we had polyphonic jazz music, different form of music we have. तो उसमें क्या हुआ है, chord का भी बहुत evolution हुआ है. And evolution जब हुआ है, then we will find so many chords in so many ragas. So if you have,
you're absolutely right.
If you have the knowledge of Indian classical music as well as little bit of progression, then compose करने में बहुत ही हेल्प होता है. और देखिए जितने अच्छे कंपोजर थे जिनको सुन के हम लोगों ने अपने आप को एनहांस किया, वी हैव एनहांस्ड आवरसेल्फ लिसनिंग टू दोस कंपोजर्स लाइक नौसाद, मदन मोहन, so many, Shankar Jaikishan, S.D. Burman, everyone. How many name I can I can name right now. तो उसमें क्या है, वो उन लोगों को ये सब पता था, तो उसका कंपोजिशन देखिए. तो उसके बाद जो भी है, कोई भी है जो लर्नेड है, उसका कंपोजिशन आप सुनेंगे तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि भाई ये लर्नेड म्यूजिशियन ने कंपोज किया है. तो वो किसी आम जनता को नहीं मालूम हो सकता है, आम जनता को नहीं मालूम होगा, लेकिन जो म्यूजिक सीखते हैं उनको मालूम हो जाएगा कि ये ही समथिंग एल्स. आम जनता जो है उसके लिए सिर्फ एंटरटेनमेंट है, अच्छा लगा तो गाना हिट हो गया.
I mean, in support of your this harmonization in Indian classical music, अब हम सब जानते हैं तानपुरा जब खड़ज का जब सा बज रहा था उसमें गंधार की आवाज आती है, ठीक है ना. आप तो सरोद बजाते हैं, तरबें होती हैं पीछे, सितार में तरबें होती हैं. आप सा जब खड़ज का लगाते हैं तो पा अपने आप बजने लगता है, ठीक है ना. माँ में नहीं बजने लगता है. तो वो जब तक सुर में नहीं होएंगी तब तक वो नहीं बजेंगी तरबें. आपकी माँ की माँ ही बजेगी, माँ से नी की नहीं बजेगी, ठीक है ना. तो जब सुर दोनों की सिंक्रोनाइजेशन अच्छी हुई तभी वो तरफ बजेगी. तो वो जो दैट इज हार्मोनाइजेशन. एंड वो जब आप उसको सुर करना अच्छा सीख जाते हैं तो you can see the harmony. So I agree with you there.
No, the greatness of Indian classical music is, we have augmented chord, accidental, so many chords we always use in a very uncanny situations. Like मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि आप कॉन्स्पिरेसी कर रहे हैं, किसी सिचुएशन में देख रहे हैं कि कॉन्स्पिरेसी हो रहा है, किसी सिचुएशन में आप देख रहे हैं कि कोई एयर क्रैश हो गया है, तो उसमें खास करके कुछ है कॉर्ड्स म्यूजिक आप सुनते हैं, इफ यू नोटिस यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड. तो वो जो अनकैनी कॉर्ड है, अनकैनी नोट्स है, उसी का कॉम्बिनेशन में बहुत बढ़िया राग है जो आप सुन के बहुत यू कैन हैव द प्लेजर. कैन यू इमेजिन व्हाट आई एम. मैं समझा सका या नहीं मुझे नहीं मालूम. मैं आपको बताता हूँ ऐसे ऐसे कॉम्बिनेशन है नोट्स का जो एक साथ आपको एक साथ अगर सुनाएंगे तो आप चौंक जाएंगे, लेकिन अलग अलग उसी नोट्स को मेलोडी के तौर पर जब हम सुनाएंगे एक राग, तो आपको बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है. सो हाउ scientifically developed music is Indian classical music.
सही बात है.
দাদা তোমার
तो
নিজের কম্পোজিশন আছে যেটা আমরা একটু শুনতে পারি? আই এম শিওর দেয়ার আর।
এটা আমি
yeah,
যাচ্ছিলাম,
I
এটা আমি
have
অ্যাকচুয়ালি বলতে যাচ্ছিলাম।
lot of
আমার
compositions,
মনে
and fortunately my song has been sung by every artist of Kolkata, or কবিতা জি, শ্রেয়া, সবাই গেয়েছে আমার গান. তো আমি অনেক দীর্ঘদিন ধরে মিউজিক করছি, 96 থেকে মিউজিক করছি. তো কি হয়, আমার পক্ষে সব সময় খুব বেশি এই জন্য আমি সময় দিতে পারিনি, কারণ আমি এই ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিকে থেকেছি, বিদেশ গেছি, সবটাই পাশাপাশি চলেছে বলে আমি অত বেশি করতে পারিনি. কিন্তু তাও একটা সময় 96 থেকে 2002 অবধি তো আমি খুব বেশি টেলিভিশন ওয়ার্ক করেছি, খুব প্রচুর সিরিয়াল, টেলিফিল্মস, তার সঙ্গে নিজে ডিরেক্ট করতাম নন ফিকশন. সেটা প্রায় জি আর দূরদর্শন মিলিয়ে প্রায় 1350 এপিসোড করেছি আমি.
ওয়াও।
তো অনেক অনেক রকমের অভিজ্ঞতা আমার হয়েছে, তাতে আমার মনে হয়েছে আমার লাভ হয়েছে. আমি সব রকম কাজ করেছি, সেটা আমাকে কেন জানি না মনে হচ্ছে ইন্ডিয়ান ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক বুঝতে আমাকে সাহায্য করেছে. না হলে আমি বোধহয় বুঝতে পারতাম না. ইন্ডিয়ান ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিকটা একটা জীবনের মতো, তো জীবন বোধ, आपका जीवन में जितना तरह की एक्सपीरियंस होगा, उतना ही आप इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक को अच्छा समझ पाएंगे.
Can we listen to one of your compositions if we can, please?
So there is very favorite composition of mine, sung by श्रीकांत आचार्य. मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि ये बारिश का महीना है, तो यहाँ तो कलकत्ता में बहुत ज्यादा बारिश हो रही है. तो और वो जो कंपोजिशन है वो रामदासी मल्लार में. तो थोड़ा सा मैं सुनाता हूँ, मुखड़ा पूरा नहीं. স্বপন ঘেরা চোখে চাওয়া মেঘে দেরি আশা যাওয়া. আলো ছায়ার লুকোচুরি, আলো ছায়ার লুকোচুরি, বাদল দিনের হাওয়া, স্বপন ঘেরা চোখে চাওয়া মেঘে দেরি আশা যাওয়া. আলো ছায়ার লুকোচুরি, বাদল দিনের হাওয়া, স্বপন ঘেরা चोखे चावा मेघे तेरी आशा चावा.
Darun.
Wow, wonderful. You sing so nice too.
He is he sings,
Good.
he plays the tabla. They are maestros
Very
Kamalji.
good.
So obviously,
इसमें
yeah, we
इसमें
want
कोई
to
बड़ी
have
बात नहीं है.
this blend.
देखिए पिताजी घर छोड़ जाते हैं, पैसे छोड़ जाते हैं, कितना कुछ छोड़ जाते हैं आप नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए. तो हमारे पिताजी तबला छोड़ गए हैं, तो वो तो कभी भी आप बोलेंगे हम बजा के सुना सकते हैं. 8-10 घंटा रियाज करके कोई नहीं बजा सकता. तो लेकिन उसमें कोई मेरा कोई उसमें कैलिबर नहीं है, क्योंकि वो एकदम पाया हुआ है. तो गाना भी आप बोल रहे हैं, हमारे माताजी इतना अच्छा गाते थे, तो हम लोग रियाज करते थे. जब बिखर जाते थे तो वो हम लोगों को बोला ठीक है मैं थोड़ा गाना गाता हूँ, तबला बजा साथ में, अच्छा लगेगा. तो ये जो चीज है ये सब पुरखों से ही मिला है हम लोगों को. और ये आई एम फॉर्चुनेट इनफ, आई एम टेलिंग यू फॉर्चुनेट इनफ, क्योंकि हमारे पिताजी और माताजी को सब लोग बहुत प्यार करते थे. तो उसमें एक सुविधा क्या हुआ, कोई भी कलाकार के पास कभी भी हम किसी भी जरूरत पर गए, म्यूजिक के तौर पर मैं बताता हूँ कि ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, वो क्या है, ये क्या है, कभी किसी ने रिफ्यूज नहीं किया. और घर में आपको कुमार बोस, जयंत बोस जैसे लोग होंगे तो आप ऐसे ही कलाकार हो जाएंगे. वो तो ऐसे रियाज करते थे, वो मैं देख के कलाकार बन गया, उसको देख के बन गया मैं कलाकार.
क्या बात. वाह.
और जो मैं आपको बताया कि आई डोंट हैव एनी कंट्रीब्यूशन. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई एम टेलिंग यू, डोंट टेक इट अदरवाइज. ओनली पंडित कुमार बोस कंट्रीब्यूटेड फ्रॉम आवर फैमिली. कि आप दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में जाइए, मिलेगा आपको कोई ना कोई जो दाढ़ी लगा के तबला ऐसे बजाना चाहता है. तो उसको क्या कहते हैं कि स्टाइलाइजेशन. व्हेन यू कैन मेक अ स्टाइलाइजेशन, पीपल फॉलो यू, उसको कहा जाता है कि कंट्रीब्यूशन. तो मैं कितना भी अच्छा बजा लूं, आप बोलेंगे हम बिल्कुल मैं अपने गुरु की तरह बजाता हूं. तो कोई भी बजाता है मेरे जनरेशन का, आप कहते हैं कि बिल्कुल उसके तरह बजाते हैं. लेकिन ये सोचिए, आफ्टर पंडित रविशंकर, उस्ताद विलायत खान साहब, उस्ताद अली अकबर खान साहब, उस्ताद अमजद अली खान साहब, ये जो स्टाइल, और निखिल बनर्जी ऑफ कोर्स, ये जो स्टाइलाइजेशन उन्होंने दिया, उसके बाद देखिए कोई नया स्टाइलाइजेशन आया नहीं. दिस इज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट.
उन दिनों मेहनत भी वैसी करते थे ना, आजकल तो
ये बात नहीं है, ये ऊपर वाले का देन होता है, आप
देन
कर
भी
नहीं
होता,
सकते.
मेहनत भी थी उन दिनों. उन दिनों मेहनत की कंपटीशन थी, उस समय अच्छी चीज की कंपटीशन थी. अब जो है कंपटीशन दूसरी तरफ चली गई है, हाउ टू अर्न मनी, मैं तुमसे ज्यादा बड़ा स्टार बन सकता हूँ. So that competition of learning process is not there.
The world has become numeric, you know. कितना नाम, कितना पैसा, कितना कॉन्सर्ट, कितना अवार्ड, हर चीज में जो है संख्या तत्व आ गया है. तो उसका ये असर है. लेकिन फिर भी मैं आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट, व्हाट एवर यू आर ट्राइंग टू प्रमोट. कलाकार आर्ट्स बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. And I'll be very happy to see a really good environment of Indian classical music.
I mean, as Chandra ji will tell you, क्योंकि इंग्लैंड में थोड़ा सा क्लासिकल म्यूजिक का माहौल कम है, एंड उनका आइडिया यही है कि क्लासिकल म्यूजिक को यहाँ पे और प्रमोट किया जाए. लाइट म्यूजिक तो होते रहते हैं, फिल्मी गाने, ये वो गाने, श्रेया घोषाल आ गई तो कभी सोनू निगम आ गए, ये सब तो 75 पाउंड देके भी लोग टिकट लेके चले जाते हैं. पर कोई क्लासिकल वाला आता है तो कोई पैसा 10 पाउंड से ज्यादा खर्चने को तैयार नहीं होता. बट वी वांट टू ब्रिंग गुड आर्टिस्ट एंड गुड टेस्ट इन पब्लिक, विच इज द आइडिया कि जो सच्ची चीज है, सच्चाई को भी देखो, कभी दिखावा मत देखो, सच्ची चीज भी देखो.
वही तो आपको बताया ना कि 10 पाउंड जो देगा, कम लोग आएगा, 10 पाउंड देगा, कलाकार को थोड़ा कम पैसा मिलेगा, लेकिन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक बच जाएगा.
Yes.
जब तक आप श्रेया घोषाल के साथ कॉम्पीट करते रहेंगे तो क्लासिकल म्यूजिक नहीं बचेगा, वो खत्म हो जाएगा.
That's right. So this is why our idea is to come out of that side, just go for the goodness again.
या
So,
एग्जैक्टली.
लोगों को पता था सच्ची चीज तो दिखे, झूठी शान चमक तो सब देखते हैं, पर वो सच्चाई
अभी
जो असली
अभी
चीज है
आप देखिए, जो हमारे बाद का जो जनरेशन है, कितने अच्छे अच्छे मैं सुनता हूँ, दिल खुश हो जाता है, इतना अच्छा सरोद सितार सब बजाते हैं. लेकिन आप किसी से बात करिए कि वो, उनको पता ही नहीं क्या करना है. वो ये नहीं सोच पा रहा है कि भाई मैं संगीत में जुड़े रहूं, हमको खाना मिल जाएगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. लेकिन सब उलझे हुए हैं, व्हाट टू डू. कोई कहता है नेपोटिज्म, कोई कहता है कि ये कैपिटलिज्म, ये एक्चुअली तो है ही फ्यूडल म्यूजिक, ये तो था ही राज दरबार में. तो बाद में जब आया ये तो कभी डेमोक्रेटिक म्यूजिक था ही नहीं. तो उसको आप जबरदस्ती अगर पॉपुलराइज करने जाएंगे तो बिगड़ जाएगा. जितना बिगड़ गया है उसको भी अगर आप रोकना चाहेंगे तो रोक पा सकते हैं. अच्छे जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है वो कर सकता है, वो अच्छा बजाता है, अच्छा गाता है, बहुत बहुत है, मैंने खुद सुना है. एंड आई एम वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक अबाउट दैट. तो उनको भाई आप उनको सुनिए, उनको मौका दीजिए, वो एक दिन समझेगा कि ये म्यूजिक जो ये सबके लिए नहीं है, लेकिन इनका भी है, क्लाइंटेल है, सुनने वाले हैं, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है लेकिन ठीक है. कोई मेरा कोई कंपटीशन हो ही नहीं सकता किसी पॉपुलर म्यूजिशियन के साथ, क्यों होगा?
Yes.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Sitkar Gupta is saying very, very important point.
I just want to add in something on top of it, is that, like I was talking, my theory is, in my theory, it is like it needs three people. Artist you're talking about, it needs the audience appreciation. Here in Western music, the people can appreciate Western music because it is taught at a very early age in the schools and properly. I'm talking about mass people. I'm not talking about only few kalakars. I'm talking about, in general. I mean, if you are, I can't distinguish one raga from another raga. That means my training is obviously a problem, but that is very finer thing. But at least to appreciate, to touch in our heart. So I'm not going to listen to something else. That appreciation should be going on in terms of, our, what do you call it, the aim. One would be to obviously to promote the good music. Second would be to create the appreciation amongst the audiences. So
exactly.
And third, the responsibility of the organizer. You're
very right.
It's really important that you are actually taking the cream of the cream and making sure that you are giving the purest form of music. And that is so vitally important, and taking risk onto it. For example, everything involves money. If I spend £10,000 for a program, and if I have 100 people only to attend, right, properly, then that sum should be added via sponsorship or some other. So it's a complicated process, but nevertheless, it is needed that you need to have these three elements work together. And then only we can have this progression of culture, generation after generation. I mean, that's why,
as you're a doctor, as you're a doctor,
important. Yeah, sorry.
As you're a doctor, you will know that people who eat too much and tasty food, they get the diseases more than people who eat the simple food. So all this popular music is actually disease. Is a disease producing. It's not good for your well-being. The loudness you hear in the music, these programs with this kind of music is so loud that it's, कहते हैं ना, 120 decibel is the highest your ear can tolerate. I think it's more than 120 decibel they play the volume. तो कितना वो irritate होता है, आपका हार्ट बीट फास्ट होने लगती है सुन के. तो आई यूजुअली वॉक आउट. कभी मेरे को कोई पकड़ के ले जाए ना तो 10 मिनट से ज्यादा मैं बैठ नहीं सकता. आई जस्ट कम आउट. बट दिस म्यूजिक, क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, इज द calming music.
देखिए एक छोटा सा बात रामकृष्ण परमहंस देव ने कहा था, बहुत ही छोटी बात है, लेकिन मुझे लगा कि बस वो को किसी ने अगर समझ गया तो बस जिंदगी उसका ठीक हो जाएगा। অর্থই অনর্থের मूल। सो मनी इज कंसर्न, तो वो आपको ना सारा जिंदगी बिगाड़ देगा, क्योंकि एम्बिशन इज वेरी नाइस, डिजायर इज नॉट गुड। आपको आपको जो जो चीज चाहिए है वो जरूर आपको मिल जाएगा, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि आपको नहीं मिलेगा, मिल जाएगा, लेकिन आप जरूरत को बढ़ाते रहेंगे तो बस आपका कोई गोल नहीं रहेगा। गोल एक ही रहेगा कि पैसा, किसी भी तरह हमको पैसा मिल जाए। तो ये आप एक एक बात हमको बताइए कि बहुत ज्यादा पैसे वालों लोगों का आप पैर छूते हैं कि भीमसेन जोशी का पैर छूते हैं? तो दोनों एक साथ नहीं हो सकता है, दोनों एक साथ नहीं हो।
But that's the realization you have to have. That's the realization you have to have as a musician. That's the thing. You need both, but not too much.
Sid Kargupta is saying popular musicians are mostly entertainers. They cater to audience demands, perform as the audience wants, but true artists are different. They perform as they want to, and in the process create audience taste.
It is not question of true artist or false artist. I'm telling you, everyone is artist, but you have to settle your clientele. कि भाई मेरा क्लाइंट छोटा सा है, मैं उसी में खुश हूं, तो उसको खाम का क्यों बढ़ाएंगे, उसको बढ़ाने की कोशिश क्यों करेंगे? तो ये हमेशा आप हिस्ट्री देख लीजिए, बड़े गुलाम अली खान साहब बैठे हुए हैं और एकदम नीचे ऐसे लता जी और मोहम्मद रफी जी बैठे हुए हैं। लता जी से आई मेट हर एंड 1.5 hour, कैन यू इमेजिन, आई हैव टॉक टू हर। तो मैं जितना उनको मदन मोहन में खींच के ले जाता हूँ उतना ही वो मुझे उस्ताद विलायत खान साहब और बड़े गुलाम अली खान साहब के बातों में खींच के लाते थे। तो क्यों? ये जो है कि हम कलाकार हैं, हमको आम जनता अगर नहीं भी को पहचानेगा, नहीं भी इज्जत देगा, कोई बात नहीं, हमको सोनू निगम जरूर देगा, वो समझेगा हमको, वो देगा इज्जत हमको। लेकिन आप अपने आप को अगर इतना ही बिकाऊ कर देंगे तो तब तो कोई कमर्शियल जो आर्टिस्ट है वो भी आपको नहीं इज्जत देगा। तो वो सोचेगा भाई आपसे और मेरे में फर्क क्या है?
That's correct. That's correct. But you do need both of them in this society. You need both them. I mean, you can't really ignore the.
Exactly. वही तो हम बोल रहे हैं कि उनके किसी के साथ कंपटीशन की क्या जरूरत है, बोलिए।
Shall we listen to your it's concluding whatever you want to play, and then I think probably what do you think, Chandraji?
We are almost towards the end of the show.
I think I should conclude with a Tagore song because the month of August and the month of May.
Today is Baishe Shravan as well.
We always remember him, and other than Rabindranath, there is no life. There is no life. एक जिंदगी में एक आदमी जो सोच भी नहीं सकता वो सब लिख के गए हैं, वो उनके बाहर कोई है नहीं। मुझे तो लगता है कि महाभारत कहा जाता है, मुझे लगता है उनको महाभारत ही कहना चाहिए, जो रविंद्र रचना बोली इफ यू गो थ्रू, एक जिंदगी में आप पढ़ भी नहीं सकते हैं, लेकिन कोई विषय नहीं है जिनके बारे में उन्होंने नहीं लिखा हो। तो उनको ही श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करके मैं विदा लेना चाहूंगा, और बहुत अच्छा लगा आप लोगों से बात करके। बहुत बेस्ट विशेष फॉर कलाकार आर्ट्स। मैं एक रविंद्र संगीत सुनाता हूं आपको। एक्चुअली आई एम टेलिंग यू, in 2002 Vishwa Bharati Shantiniketan felicited me and I performed there in Gaur Prangan. It was a huge concert. So the first time I played Rabindra Bihag, एक ऐसा बिहाग जो रविंद्रनाथ ने देखा था वो ना बिहागड़ा है, ना बिहाग है, ना पुरानी बिहाग है, ना मतलब एक अजीब सा उनको महसूस हुआ था। एंड ही यूज टू बिलीव दैट whenever you compose something, don't think that you are a classical musician, you are a pandit, or you know so many things. No, only try to compose according to the lyric. ये उनका एक किताब है, संगीत चिंता, उनका ही लिखा हुआ, उसमें वो लिखते हैं। तो उनको जैसा महसूस हुआ बिहाग, वैसा उन्होंने क्रिएट किया है। तो मैं उसको प्योर क्लासिकल में बजाया था, लेकिन जिस गाने से ये हमको महसूस हुआ था, मैं वो गाना आपको सुना के विदा लेना चाहूंगा।
जी दादा।
Aha.
Wow.
I know this song. I know this song.
I don't know.
Ogo Shono.
I don't know the song, but it
Actually,
sounded so
actually, my
pleasant.
guru played it, you know, brilliant. वो तो मैं कभी भूल ही नहीं सकता, ऐसा ऐसा उन्होंने बजा दिया
So
रविंद्र
इसमें
सिंह
तो
ने।
मुझे तो जो सुनने में लग रहा था बिहाग और थोड़ा सा खमाज मिले जुले से अंग पा रहे थे इसमें, खमाज के टचेस भी बहुत आ रहे थे इसमें।
हाँ, वो क्या है कि बिहाग में कोमलनी बिहागड़ा में भी होता है, उसका भी यूज
Yes, that's right.
लेकिन
होता है।
रविंद्रनाथ एक अजीब सा रास्ता उन्होंने एक ऐसा, मतलब क्या मैं बताऊं आपको, अगर आप गाना बंगाली का सुनेंगे आपको लगेगा कि जो लिरिक है उसके साथ एकदम जेल किया हुआ है। तो इसीलिए वो ऐसे ही वो हमेशा वो करते थे। कभी भी किसी भी रागों में वो कोई दूसरा नोट लगाया तो वो ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द लिरिक। आप सुनेंगे तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि ये खास एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए उन्होंने ये यूटिलाइज किया। He was a great, composer of all time। और स्टाइलाइजेशन की जो मैं आपको बात कर रहा था, आप सोच लीजिए कि 127 years हो गया है, ज्यादा हो सकता है, तो लेकिन अभी भी वो स्टाइल इट्स स्टिल देयर। वी कॉल इट ड्राविन ग्रीक। So
Thank you,
that's
Dada.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to read one comment here, which I think the audience also need to know, that the great maestros, great musicians are those who not only play their own music, they try to promote the youngsters. That's what I have learned from my Guruji, and that is what Kalakar is trying to do, bringing the upcoming young talents, giving them the opportunity to show their talent so that we could, Kalakar, due to lockdown, we can reach to thousands of audience, which was not possible otherwise. So लॉकडाउन जब से हुआ है तब तभी से ये ऑनलाइन सेशंस, और एक ऑनलाइन सेशन में आप देखिए 1 लाख से ज्यादा लोग देख रहे हैं। सो ये जो अपकमिंग म्यूजिशियंस है इनके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है, तो which I want to promote, I want to give them the opportunity, which would be my tribute to my Guruji. So the comment I wanted to read here is from one of my little brothers, Chiranjit Mukherjee, who is also a great disciple of Kumarda. He's saying, Tonida gave me the first opportunity to perform in UK in the year of 2008. He did lots for me, which I can't forget. So,
नहीं, वो
Tonida,
तो
thanks.
देखिए सबको करना चाहिए। और मैं बार बार कहता हूँ आपको, हमारे बाद जो जनरेशन है उसको अगर थोड़ा सा भी सपोर्ट मिल जाए, ऐसे ऐसे कलाकार हैं हम सुन चुके हैं, वो हमसे आगे बढ़े हुए हैं, वो बहुत अच्छे हैं, उनको आगे बढ़ाइए तो कुछ हो सकता है। वट एवर यू वर सेइंग, वो उनको लेके आप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अब अभी जो गया है उसको लेके मत सोचिए।
That's what we want to do, Dada. That is why we are inviting the young people who are really dedicated and they want to keep the classical music alive. We are trying to give them the stage so that, it helps me to take my, the legacy that my Guruji has started. So we could continue with that. But thank you, Dada. Thank you so much for your time. Such an insightful session today. And
thank you. I also thank you for giving me the opportunity to say so many hard talk. many thanks. नहीं, हमेशा क्या होता है ना, फोन पे तो कई कलाकार है जो दोस्त लोग हैं जो सब बताते हैं, लेकिन वो पब्लिकली नहीं बता पाते, क्योंकि वो भी इसी फैकल्टी में है, उसको भी इसी से रोजगार होता है। तो मैं तो इसलिए कह पा रहा हूँ कि मुझे कोई अब जरूरत है नहीं, कोई बुलाए ना बुलाए मुझे कुछ वो फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, लेकिन वो लोग बोल भी नहीं पाते हैं। बट so many artists are there who are realizing that whatever is happening, it's not good for Indian classical music. So but there is no leader, कोई है नहीं जो इसको चेंज कर सके। तो इसीलिए I am only optimistic about the young generation in all respect। वो सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, वो चाहे तो सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, और उनको सपोर्ट कीजिए, उनको सपोर्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है। बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, इतने आशा करते हैं कि इतना मेहनत कर रहा हूँ जरूर हमारा कुछ होगा। अब उसको अगर अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिला तो क्या मैसेज पहुंचेगा?
Definitely, most definitely.
है ना?
So, Chandradi, when you were concluding, please remind us about the another one, the the program that we're doing with the children on the 14th.
Absolutely. That's also talking about keeping classical music alive. To all our viewers, please do join us on the 14th of August, 3 p.m. UK time. Kalakar has started a East-West band with Indian, South Indian, as well as North Indian classical music and Western classical music. And the performers are between the age of 12 and 16. And you will be amazed. I can promise you that you'll be amazed to see and hear their talent. We are also going to have Muradabad Gharanas, 5 of them, the Saringi players. Murad Ali Khan Bhai, who is also a part of Kalakar. His son and his nephews, 5 of them will play Saringi together. Then we have 2 little children. They will be presenting you Kathak. And they are a student of Indrani Datta, who is a student of Birju Maharajji. So this is the way I think we could keep classical music alive with our younger generation. And they are really practicing hard. So we want to support them. And the great thing about the 14th concert is that the children are performing to raise some funds to help other children in need. So
Okay.
whatever we can raise on that day will be donated to UNICEF. So please do come and join us, support the children. They are helping the other children. So why can't we support them? So please be with us on 14th of August, starting at 3 p.m. And as I always say, if you like these sessions, these are all interactive sessions, but so much to learn. So much, all of us, we are learning so much in each session. Please do share the sessions. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you again on the 14th. And we also have a webinar that Nehru Center is organizing, London Nehru Center. Pandit Shubhankar Banerjee, Pandit Gaurav Majumdar, Vidushi Sumitra Guha, Kamal Virji, myself, Indrani. We all are a part of this, Indrayud Majumdar as well. So that's the webinar on the 21st of August. But you can find all details on Kalakar Arts page. So please do stay with us, stay tuned, stay safe. দাদা আমার প্রণাম নিও
No,
আবার শিগগিরই দেখা
Namaskar.
হবে অনেক কিছু শিখলাম আরো অনেক কিছু শেখার আশায় রইলাম ভালো থেকো
Thank you.